What we're doing?
Absolutely. First off, I'm glad it seems like, so I don't know if anybody else is in the Midwest, but we are getting hit with ridiculous windstorms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My power went out like 4 times earlier today, but it seems like that it literally has died down specifically for us to do this. So
Yeah.
Cujo lost power. Cujo lost power this morning. Our internet almost completely crapped out on us this morning, like right at the tail end of my session. The winds are bad today.
Yeah. So so long as everything goes together, and unless my screen just suddenly goes black, barring a bunch of profanity from me that comes through the camera, then it probably means my power went out.
Yeah.
But my battery was. Yeah, no, I don't know. I've never had that happen while I was living. I've got a battery backup.
Well, I hope we don't have to put that to the test today.
Whatever might be listening, don't put that to the test. I'll do it some other day. All right, so hi everybody. I am Brian CP Steele, one of several people who helped put together the Essence 20 system, and did a little primary focus on making Power Rangers role-playing game a thing for Renegade Games. You can find me at Brian CP Steele or The Professional Nerd on most of the socials. I'm going to be running one of our convention scenarios tonight. This is the first time that we're running it publicly. Up until now, it's only been run at private, like ticketed events. This is the Tenga Temple. If it wouldn't get us blocked, I would have played it. If it wouldn't have gotten things like immediately flagged, I was going to play the Tenga song, but I'm pretty sure that the algorithm would have immediately been like,
yes, we are not cool enough to be able to play any like copyright stuff or that sort of thing. We will get flagged and shut down.
If you're watching this at home or wherever you're watching this, on a bus or subway, a tram, if you will, listen to go to YouTube and look up the Tenga song and then laugh for a little while and then come back and watch this. Because it's quality music. It like, if there's one thing that Power Rangers did well, it was cringy, amazing soundtracks.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So before I dig into the narrative of the game and actually like tell you what's going on and getting in, let's go around the table, the table, and introduce everybody and who you are playing as a member of the Strato Rangers, which, for the people who are big into Power Rangers, is not a real team. The benefit of having a role-playing game is using your imagination.
What? We're 100% a real team.
Way?
I'm not going to let you.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go. I was going to say, don't delegitimize my team before we've gotten started.
It is in this particular thread in the braid of the Power Rangers multiverse. The Strato Rangers are a kind of the away team for the in space. The Space Rangers, when they are dealing with things that are above and beyond the scope, and something else comes up, rather than telling that other something else to just wait a second, they send the Strato Rangers, and that's what we will be doing tonight. Is the Strato Rangers will be answering the call, so to speak. But before that, let's talk about the people who are actually going to get in the suits. I don't know, because of the way the cameras are set up. I'm not going to go around the clock. I'll just let you guys do your thing, because now I'm in the middle. A second ago, I was on the top. I don't know how that works.
Sorry, that was my that was my fault.
I am no Blue Ranger. Technology is beyond me. So
I changed my name and
it goes off.
It all goes alphabetical.
No worries.
It's just a parfait of weird decisions for me. I have no idea.
Well, since you ruined everything, why don't you start us off then?
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. Okay, what's up? My name is Anne. My name is Anne. You can find me on Twitter at exo_girlwonder. I love playing this game. I play 2 other Power Rangers in 2 other streams, but tonight I will be playing Mav, the Black Strato Ranger, and the leader of this bunch.
The
awesome.
first
leader,
original member of the Strato Rangers.
Awesome.
Representing Mariner Bay. What?
What?
Next.
Ben, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Ben Heisler. I am one of the authors and designers of Essence 20. My primary work was on the G.I. Joe role-playing game, but I got to touch almost all of them, and I'm so excited to see people playing them. I also am running a G.I. Joe game over on my own channel, which is Feats and Fables, and we play every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And right now we're in the thick of a Power Rangers G.I. Joe crossover that my Joes are figuring out just how bad that means for them, since they don't have the power of the grid.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a hell of a crossover. I love it.
I have a question. In the Power Rangers rulebook, it says you can't kill Power Rangers. Can you kill G.I. Joes?
So what we decided with defeated is that it can mean many different things. So if your table is all about like, oh yeah, no, you can get shot and die, like you're doing one of the comics where, characters die. They get shot and things go poorly for them. Or you can also take it the route of the cartoon where, you shoot down their plane and they always jump out with a parachute, or you shoot them and they fall over, but they miraculously get better. And that was really important for us because G.I. Joe means so much to so many different fans. So it was important to be approachable from different angles.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's super cool.
Thank you.
I had to ask.
No, it's all good. So tonight I'm playing Istio. She is a Blue Ranger from Sirius. She interned with SPD a few years ago, and she is still here to take a bite out of crime. Whoa!
Why is that? Why is taking a bite out of crime important? Did you mention?
Because Syrians get a bite attack, which is awesome, and second of all, former SPD member. This will be my first time playing a Blue Ranger, so it's exciting for me.
Nice.
I remember my first time playing a Blue Ranger.
I remember my first time.
Yeah.
No, it was actually at a virtual con. I played a pre-made Blue Ranger. That was fun.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right.
Brian, is there anything else you would like to say about yourself?
About me? No,
yeah.
I'm just the gamer.
Okay.
I'm rolling dice, and I get to be I get to do a couple funny voices in this one, so you have to bear with you have to bear with my voiceover talents. So
that's all right.
I think you'll enjoy it. Perhaps.
Aww.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hello. My name is Cujo. It's been my nickname since I was in 6th grade, so it's just Cujo. I have my own Twitch channel, Cujo Plays Games. This is my first time playing a Power Ranger. I am stupid excited. I've loved Power Rangers since I was a little kid, so this is super, super cool to be able to do this. I am playing Nines, the synthetic ranger. And I'm going to be Team Green tonight, so super excited for this. You have no idea.
I love it.
I'm Dustin. Despite what it says on the Discord chat, I am at Sam's station right now. You can always find us at Nerdhouse Tabletop right here. Far less often. I think only in chat can you find me at Crash Test DM. But we've got our Wednesday night D&D game run by Cujo. And we also play video games Sunday nights. I have never played Power Ranger, so this is very exciting for me. And realizing the kinds of work that Brian and Ben do for projects like this, I feel I think wildly underdressed for the occasion would be the best word for it. So this is so cool.
You guys are lucky I showered for this.
I don't know why they can't smell you on the internet.
I mean,
like,
just
You say that.
Yeah.
You know that healthy glow? You get an unhealthy shine if you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was me definitely last session. I had to take 2 shots of Malort, and there was this moment where I was like, okay, no.
Why? Was that a
For the
betting
kids.
For the
I
kids,
yeah.
proposed it. It was a thing.
Oh,
To which somebody ordered me a gift set from Malort, so that's awesome.
Yep, that's our Andy.
that's
Hilarious troll.
I wouldn't call it a gift set. That's a
No, it is absolutely not. But in the interest of us being on the internet, I will honor what it is called because I don't want to make somebody feel bad.
You know what? It was a set of things gifted to you. So I guess
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, in that way, it works.
Don't look gift turpentine in the mouth.
All right, and
And now,
last but not least,
Matthew.
I'm Matthew. I today will be playing Chris, the Gold Strato Ranger. I am incredibly excited to be here, and am totally looking forward to being defeated, and hopefully raising money for the kids.
Yeah.
So I first off I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I want to give an extra special thank you to Matthew, because I don't know if you could tell from his eloquent cadence, but he's actually coming in from the UK. So
wow,
that's awesome.
Whoa.
Wait.
He's streaming
It's
right
like
now. It's like
midnight.
11 o'clock at night. He's gonna play until 4 in the morning.
21 minutes past 11.
That's
So-
awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you
for being
So
here.
much, man.
I'm giving a specific shout out and a story point for your bravery.
Not sleeping.
For your bravery for not sleeping. So you guys are actually going to start today's session with 6 story points instead of 5.
Excellent.
Yeah. So as a side note, there is a 6th member of the Strato Rangers, Reed, the Red Ranger, who is best friends with Mav. They've been friends for a long time.
It was Jones who was best friends with Mav.
Oh, yeah.
Reed,
I forgot to say all
Jones
about that. I'm
really
Jones.
Jones really is best friends with Mav. Reed thinks he is.
Oh, it's that
Aw.
kid, like the one that like wants to tag along
Well,
and be just
because
like Mav.
he has a destiny to follow, and the destiny said that he would be following in your footsteps and eventually take over the team from you. So he's obviously right there with you all the time. Now, I'm not actually going to be playing Reed because I've got
Had
too many things
actually
to cover.
played Reed because it would have been really funny.
So Reed is going to be basically the 6th sort of off to the side, getting everybody drinks sort of ranger.
He's the intern.
reason he's still technically with you and your team because and you can call upon him if you request certain specific things. Like if you're like, hey, we need somebody to watch this door, or hey, can you make sure that your Zord is nearby when we decide to turn into a giant robot because we'd like to not lose our leg. Like that kind of thing. He needs to be nearby for that, but he's not actually there for roleplay purposes unless it becomes an actual, like, you really, really want him to do something. I've got him here, but he's mostly...
Reed, please tell us your life story.
Well,
Actually, what is on Reed's
well, guys,
sheet that's
my life didn't start until I met you guys. That makes it awfully quick.
Oh.
I
Reed,
love
you're
you
so
guys.
cute.
that's so adorable.
Yeah, which so as a side note, everybody here has their characters have been made using the Power Rangers role-playing game core rulebook, with the a few minor adjustments based off of specifically Matthew's character is playing one of the advanced spectrums that's going to show up in Across the Stars, a source book that hopefully will be soonish. Hopefully, that is beyond our control. But the Gold Ranger is an opportunity. It is basically I wanted to show I wanted to make this something a little special. To basically for the people who get a chance to watch this, especially if they're Power Rangers fans, they'll get to see some stuff that the main book doesn't get to do. All of your Zords, I believe Istio is the only one. Again, I'm pointing at your box on my screen, so I'm sure on Twitch I'm like pointing it over here. The corner of your monitor. Istio has the shielded ability on their Zord. They can spend power to basically jack up their defense in the Zord, and they can actually do that for the Megazord as well. They create like a little bubble shield by spending power, which is something that comes out in Across the Stars, which is not in this particular thing, or which is not in the core rulebook. The Gold Ranger, everybody knows in the Spectrum. Or, you know what? Before I start running my mouth and get into the actual thing, what all? So several of you said that you've played before. Ben's played before. Have have either Cujo or Dustin? Have either of you played Essence 20 or taken a look at the system yet, so you know how it works?
I have not played Essence 20 before, so I'm probably going to be that guy to ask a couple questions as stuff comes up. I hope I'm not annoying.
No, not at all. In fact, I was going to do a very quick sort of like kind of blast through of this is the dice rolling mechanic, and if it gets into any of the weirdness as the stream goes, we'll help you along and be like, hey, take a look at what you've got there.
Awesome.
Essence 20 is a dice roll. The dice rolling mechanic in Essence 20 is you take a D20 and add your and roll a skill die based off of what your skill level is. Skill levels range from D2 all the way up to D12, and on your character sheet, and there's the D2, a little power coin.
Well,
all the way up to a D12 for regular skill levels, and you would add your D20 and the result of your skill type guide together, and if that equals or exceeds the difficulty that I give you, or the defense of whatever you're attacking or targeting with your skill check, that's a success.
Awesome.
If for some reason you lap it, I whack myself in the face. My hat is too close to my eye. If you lap it, so like if the difficulty
wear it backwards.
For the people who play D&D, you'll note that the difficulties tend to be much lower in Essence 20 because you don't get static bonuses. You don't get the D20 plus 19. You don't get anything like that. It is always dice plus dice with very, 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 very few exceptions. And in those instances, that's why the difficulties end up your average. Like, I'm just going to go do something simple is like a 6 or an 8.
Okay.
So something that's a little more, it takes a little more like actual maybe prowess is going to be like a 12 or a 14. And then when you start getting into the 18s and 20s, that's stuff that's like legitimately stressful. And 30 is arduous. 30 is like, I'm trying to break into Fort Knox. Like this is something super gnarly, and it's probably going to require a lot of like special powers and stuff to get there. Where the system gets a little different on the D20 is if I tell you that you roll something with edge, that gives you 2 D20, and then you take the higher.
It's essentially like advantage, disadvantage with
edge and snag. Snag is snag is where you roll 2d20 and take the lower. The other half of your skill. So like, let's say you've got a D4 in something like this right here, a D4, and I tell you, go ahead and take an upshift because of range or whatever. Your D4 has become a D6.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But the opposite is true as well. If you're a D4 and you're firing into cover is a downshift, you're now shooting with a D2.
Gotcha. Okay, I like it.
I'm pretty sure a couple of you have some specializations on your sheet. It'll show you dots on your characters. It'll be like, I've got targeting at D6, or I've got I think Mav, I believe you've got your persuasion has a specialization in leadership. If I'm correct.
Give me just 2 seconds, guys. The Instacart has now arrived with my limes and lemons. Yay!
Yeah, I have a D4 and a specialty in leadership.
Okay. Well, since Kuja is one of the people we're trying to teach about this, we're going to hold off like 1 second.
Sure.
I can still explain how specializations generally work. It is so there's a skill for it. It is my job as a GM to determine that what skill is required for you in this time. So no matter what you're trying to do, it needs to fall into some kind of skill. And all of your skills are based off of your 4 S's, your 4 essences: smarts, or strength, speed, smarts, and social. And if you're trying to do something, and unless it's just really obvious, you might, as a player, go ahead and say, you know what, I think my technology skill applies here. And the whole point of us is for us to have a good time and build a cool story. I'm going to try not to be a big jerk and be like, no, I don't want you to roll technology, unless of course you're like, I would like to technology this dog. That's more animal handling, perhaps persuasion if maybe dog. Perhaps Istio meets on a fellow canine basis and persuades me to use persuasion instead of animal handling.
Here come the curveballs.
What's up?
I was just saying, here come the curveballs. And actually,
here come the curveballs. Exactly.
I don't have any persuasion, but I do have streetwise, so that I'll crouch down with the dog and be like, "Where are the bad dogs?"
Yeah. You recognize that dog's got rough pads on his feet. He lives out in the alleys, and you're like, I'm doing streetwise. I'm like, you know what? That's cool. That sounds great. So skills are malleable with few exceptions. If I specifically, like, if it is specifically for a particular test or something, unless you've got a really, really good idea, or a really, really kind of successful argument as to why you should use a different skill, it's probably going to default to the skill that it makes sense. You're not going to use animal handling to shoot a gun that's not made out of a dog. I don't know how you'd have a gun made of a dog, but
What if? No, I got nothing. Sorry.
Exactly.
What if you feed the dog a whole lot of peanut butter and then just point him?
You know what? I might do it with an outfit, or perhaps a snag.
I don't want to be on the opposite side of that.
Also,
I'm good.
Also,
nope.
That's not going to be something that happens in this session, thankfully. But at your home game, I suggest it. So we were talking about specialization. So Mav has a specialization in leadership, the persuasion skill. What's your dice level, your skill level in persuasion?
D4.
A D4. And then underneath the actual slot on the character sheet, there's a bunch of lines where you could choose to write a word. Now, basically, when the characters were being built, if you were building your own character, instead of increasing your skill level from a D4 to a D6, Mav chose to take a specialty in leadership. So in any instance where this persuasion skill is being used, and can convince me that leadership makes sense, I say, you know what, the specialty applies, and so instead of just rolling the D20 and the D4, they roll the D20, the D4, and everything beneath it. So if they upshift to like a D8, then they roll a D8, a D6, a D4, a D2, and then add to the D20.
That's super cool.
Of the skill dice, you only take the highest result. Gives you, the specialty just gives you a better option or a better chance to get that higher number on those skill dice.
Gotcha.
So if I understand that correctly, Jones has a specialization in science astronomy, and he's got a D4 in science. If it's an astronomy check, he rolls the D20, the D4, and the D2.
Mm-hmm.
And if I roll a 2 on the D2 and only a 1 on the D4, I just take the 2.
Correct. Okay. It just gives you a better chance of getting a higher number. And your shifting of dice works. If you have a specialty and the shift goes higher, it does count. You still get everything underneath it.
Yeah.
Where that comes into play is when you guys start as a team, start lending assistance to each other. Characters can take actions to lend assistance and gives people upshifts in the different skills, so long as you're kind of telling me how you can help somebody. There are instances where lending assistance doesn't make sense. but for the most part, go team. You know.
Do we need to be skilled to assist someone else when they're making that skill test?
Not in combat. In combat, you can just be, if you want to lend assistance in combat, you can just be annoying. You basically.
I'm really good at that. It turns out.
You can basically just harass your opponent so long as you're within 5 feet of the opponent and go. It counts.
The putty dance.
The putty dance. If Elisa, if you're watching, that was for you. The putty dance. The specialty to lend assistance with other things, like if someone's like, I want to lend assistance, I'm going to do this computer check, and Reed, who's terrible at computers, comes over and goes, I'll give you a hand. That's useless. That's literally someone standing over your shoulder and going, what you doing?
You hit the wrong key.
What's that one do?
Wait, it says hit any key. Where's the any
which
key?
one? The any key. Yeah, exactly. I hit this button and this coaster came out of my computer. Sweet.
Reed, I would appreciate your assistance. Better used somewhere else.
Now that is actually one of the benefits of the appointing people again. Of the black spectrum, the Black Ranger. They actually have something cool that lets them spend by saying something inspirational. They effectively lend assistance to anybody at any time. That's cool. That's just one of the things that they get to do. And for some, like we'll say Mighty Morphin Zach, it normally involves a fun dance move and possibly some kind of bad pun. For others, like I think his name's Carter. I can't remember his name. But he was very much like, it was almost like intense. Like, you got this. And that was his version of the quips and speeches. You got this ability. But that's the way to lend assistance.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, I think we're good. That's the basis. You'll note on your character sheets, for guys who haven't looked at Essence 20 character sheets before, you have very low health, but also almost all of your attacks do like maybe 1 or 2 damage, pretty much tops. That's the Essence 20 system is a low health, low damage system on purpose. It's designed to be more. It's designed to be more cinematic. When you get for normal characters, when they reach 0 health, they are defeated. And defeated can mean whatever the scenario needs them to be. In some, it could be the bad guy runs away. In others, they might explode in a shower of sparks and pyrotechnics. For Power Rangers, if you are in your Morphin Shell, which as a Strato Ranger, you will likely be in your Morphin Shell a lot, as that it's kind of actiony. If you are in your Morphin Shell and you are defeated, or you reach 0 health, you can choose to get knocked out of your Morphin Shell and basically revert back to your unmorphed self at 1 health. However, doing this in certain circumstances reveals your identity, leaves you dangerous, leaves you open to potentially other types of attack.
The vacuum of space.
The vacuum of space.
Vacuum of space.
There is another
kind of a thing.
problem.
Yeah.
But you can also choose while you're morphed, if you reach 0, just to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and stay in my morph shell and get defeated, because you might have a medic on your team, pointing to Istio. You might have somebody who can heal damage for other people. So in that instance, you might want to lay there and be like, "It's cool. I'm okay being 0 for a couple of rounds." All right. Let's get into this.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian,
what's up?
One more question.
What's up?
How do we crit? You should maybe explain that to the people who don't know.
I completely forgot the coolest part of the whole dice system. So there are degrees of success. If I remember earlier, I said like a difficulty of 8. And you rolled that D20 and that D4, and let's say you got an 18 altogether. The 8 got you success. The 16 got you a 2nd degree of success, which means in some cases it might be an extra point of damage. It might be something cool that you do, or maybe in the case of like a lot of group checks, particularly driving Megazords. The more successes you get, the better things go. And in certain instances, if I'm like, make an alertness check, and and I'm like, difficulty 12, and you're like 24. I'll probably give you way more information. Criticals allow you to get an extra degree of success effectively for free, and potentially access other cool stuff on certain checks. A critical success is not a 20 on your D20. A lot of D&D players get that 20 and they're like, yeah, crit. It's like, nah, that's just a really good number.
I mean, a natural 20 is always good.
A natural 20 is still solid. Like it's still an awesome number, and you might start lapping difficulties when that die comes up that well. But the way the flow chart goes, boop, 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 you find your difficulty, you roll your dice, you find out, did you succeed? If you succeeded, look at your skill dice. Are any of your non-D2 skill dice on their highest number? If it is, it's a critical success.
Interesting.
Again, leaning towards the specialty, giving you a better chance of not only getting a higher number, but also a better chance of possibly getting a crit, even with lower numbers.
Okay. Brian, can you explain that real quick? Just like that last part one more time.
Yeah, so you figure out, I tell you the difficulty. You figure out your dice, how many dice and stuff you're going to roll. You roll them up, and once you've determined whether or not are you successful, the flowchart goes to one way and says, are any of your non-D2 skill dice? So the D2 can't verify a crit.
Okay.
But anything else, if it's on its highest value, whether or not that's the die you use to add to the D20, it's a crit.
Okay.
Now, the other part of the flowchart is roll your dice, see if you're successful, and you're not successful, you have failed. You look at your D20. If your D20 is showing that number, showing a 1, that means it's a fumble. A failure and a 1 on the D20 is a fumble. Fumble means something narrative has happened badly for you, and you potentially have you have a choice. We're going to talk about this. If the fumble sticks, if the fumble is going to happen, you let it ride. Then you actually gain a story point. The team gains a story point because something that you're going to learn from is about to happen. People learn from their mistakes, and fumbles are the classiest of mistakes. Also, by rolling a 1, I mentioned story points. Story points are super important in the Essence 20 system. We are starting this session, I mentioned earlier. Normally, you start with 1 for every member of the team. Today, we're starting with 1 for every member of the team, plus 1 for Matt's bravery against the clock. I will award story points based off of things you do in the game, cool role playing. You know, it's basically kind of cool kudos stuff that happens. And you may use story points in multiple ways. The primary way that almost everybody uses it is you can spend a story point to re-roll any die roll result of 1. That's what I meant by if you let the fumble stick.
Yeah,
because that 1 comes up, you might go, we need the story point, so let's let the fumble stick, or we've got an abundance of story points, I'd like to actually hit the bad guy. And then you spend it, but then you don't get one. Another way you get to use story points is you can spend story points to get clues. If you're just utterly stumped, you're having a hard time, you know, the world is not your oyster and you have not found your pearl, you can spend a story point and I will feed you some information. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the end all be all answer to the question, but hopefully I'll lead you in the right direction. You may also spend a story point to have temporary access for the rest of the scene of any kind of useful item. It's the oops, I found that rule. You're in some guy's backyard and you spend a story point to go, I really want this dude to have a gas grill because I want to blow up like 5 putties at a time by shooting the gas grill. And as a game master, I go, that's amazing. You spend a story point, suddenly in the corner of your vision, there's a gas grill in Dad's yard, and you shoot it, and it blows up, and all the putties go, and they'll go flying. Another common use for story points to expedite your Zord arriving, because Zords are extremely useful objects. Normally, you have to call for your Zord, and then it shows up to you. If you spend a story point, it shows up to you as that useful item. And then the last thing, which you may or may not need, if everyone on the team chooses to spend a story point at the same time.
Words are hard. It's okay.
Words are hard.
At the same time, you get a grid power bloom, and everybody gains D2 personal power. Regenerates D2 personal power. Personal power is something that you guys will use to possibly activate objects, to use some of your powers might say that they needed them. Istio will use a lot because that's how Istio can heal people.
Yep.
It is your personal connection to the Morphin grid inside your person. There is no penalty for being at 0 unless something weird interacts with you at that time. Like if you're tapped out, you're tapped out. It is what it is. All of your characters also have a regenerate, which, if I remember correctly, I don't think your guys' character sheets had that written down. I think that was the one thing it was missing. It says how many. Basically, each day you have a small pool you can call upon to say, "I want to heal" or "I want to regain some power." You kind of suck it out of the Morphin grid. And I'm gonna just rip you through, let you know who's who. Black Ranger, you get 2 back per day.
Also, don't spend it. I don't think I have a thing for it.
What's up? Oh, if you spend it, yeah. Blue Ranger, 4 per day.
Woohoo! So if my cap is 2, does that mean I can rest twice and get 2 points and then 2 points again? Okay, cool.
Basically, every 24 hours, you've got a pool of 4 that you can draw from.
Cool. Sounds great.
Greeny, you are 3 per day. We do not have a Pink Ranger. They are off doing things. Reed is doing his thing. He's like, "Oh, I get 2 a day." Yellow, 3 a day, and gold, I believe, is 3 a day. I'm almost positive, but I do not have that right in front of me, and I don't want to waste your guys' time filing through things. But I'm pretty sure it's 3 a day. If Across the Stars comes out and it's wrong, and someone calls me on this, I'll give you $1. That's perseverance.
Oh, I get $1 out of that?
I'm making a note.
I'm writing that down.
When I get the book, I'm checking it.
Priority.
Does that apply to all the people on this and the people watching?
So what we need to do is we all need to coordinate, and then we all call him out at the same time. So he has to give us all $1.
Blow up his Twitter.
Timestamps. It's the first one who gets it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. We're 40 some odd minutes into the stream, and I think we are. I think. Does anybody have any other questions before we dive into the narrative? And I take a drink of my Fresca. Not a sponsor.
I think we will figure it out.
I agree.
Okay. Fantastic.
Learn by doing.
What's up?
I said learn by doing.
Learn by doing. Okay, so welcome to Tenga Temple. More importantly, welcome to the Strato Rangers. You are currently hanging out at the Strato Station base, a high-tech floating space structure attached to one of the largest asteroids in the solar asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. It's kind of like it's an old SPD station that has been repurposed by the Space Rangers to serve as the Strato base. The Strato Station, also sometimes referred to as the Nest. For anybody who isn't aware, there's a lot of bird themes in this. A lot of bird stuff. Bird. Bird stuff.
So much bird.
Well,
a lot of birds in this one.
As they say, bird is the word.
As they say.
Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. I've heard it's the word. We find the Strato Rangers relaxing in the mess hall, eating their highly nutritional Aquitian kelp cubes and Vita Fuel smoothies. It kind of tastes a little bit like cardboard and lawn clippings, but it's super good for you. You almost wish there were some condiments involved, but sadly no. All right.
I turn to Maeve and say, "You know what this stuff needs? Hot sauce."
Hot sauce.
I have not had this hot sauce. Does it taste good?
Makes anything taste good.
It depends. I find it burns a lot. Ugh.
You know what?
Actually, I have a question. I have a perk that says I know a guy. Could I roll I know a guy to find someone with decent condiments in this base?
Do I know a guy with ketchup?
Unfortunately, you know what? You normally you wouldn't even need to roll in this instance because you actually have, like many teams do, they have an assistant. They have a friend. Mighty Morphin had Alpha. So, the Time Force had Circuit. You guys have Ursix. Ursix is, imagine a 3.5-foot tall, completely robotic Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh God.
He's bright orange. He's got blue eyes, and he wears a fake gun belt because it makes him feel safe and secure when he's all by himself.
He carries a Nerf gun with him.
Does it have a little
they're blasters.
pistol? Does he have a little blaster? Simulated blaster?
He does not, in fact.
It's just the empty holster.
Purely the belt.
It makes him feel better that he looks like a big, tough space cowboy.
10-gallon hat.
So,
I mean, if that's what works.
Just as you're thinking about calling somebody to have some
how about some mayo or something? Like
some kind of
condiments.
I have something in my eyeball. Ow.
Oh no.
Is it a condiment?
It was not a condiment.
Is it Ursix?
Why did I answer that?
I don't know why you answered that, but
it's instinct. People ask me questions like, yes. All right. So you're just about ready to patch into the communications to get a condiment order going from someone, some space trucker. And Ursix waddles in.
Hey, buddy.
Pep up, Rangers! The anthropomorphic bear bot clatters into the mess hall, a familiar figure trailing a few steps behind him. Space Ranger Zane is here, and he's an important mission for you all.
I guess the quest for condiments will have to be put on hold.
That'll be the sequel. Tenga Temple 2, the quest for condiments.
Zane, wonderful to see you.
Zane pops his helmet off. He's like, "Hey, everybody! It's time for the Strato Rangers to actually take to the stars. I need you guys."
Wait, what's going on?
Corporal Sandra Rains, a NASADA astronaut. NASADA being the Earth-based space exploration teams that we help. We actually loan some of our technology to, and they use some grid-powered things to get out into the universe. She emergency landed her explorer craft on Callisto, one of Jupiter's moons. While this is in and of itself is not a huge deal and definitely not Power Ranger worthy, as far as let's go save the astronaut that can save herself. This crash there's more to it than that, because Andros and I, we found that there was a burst of energy from the lunar palace that went right past where she last radioed in, and it went straight to Callisto. And we're checking on it. The Space Rangers, we're actually gonna go check on the lunar palace and find out what's happening there. But our initial scans say that that's some kind of beta beam or some kind of teleportation. So Zed sent someone to Callisto. That's what I need you to check out.
We don't know who.
No way to know. We're looking at taillights, basically. We're looking at energy taillights.
The way we know is by going ourselves.
Jones is already getting up.
Yeah.
So we know we can't beat. We know you guys can't beat them there, but hop into your Zords and take flight. Get there as soon as you can. Ursix, Ursix and I will stay here and stay in comms with you if you need us. I'm always here to help. And so if you need any actual data or anything like that, Ursix will look it up. I'm the helpfulest. That's not a word, Ursix.
That's why we keep you around.
Mav says, Reed, come on, let's go. Everybody, let's call on the Zords and take off.
Well, it's time for Strato power.
To the stratosphere!
Milkshakes at Ernie's, I guess.
Joan says, why are you holding that pose? Let's go.
I am confused. How are they frozen in midair?
Come on, let's go.
They're not landing.
Now, as a side note, normally calling on your Zords for transportation is something that is kind of not, you don't see them be like, hey, I need to run down to the mall. Let's all hop in the pterodactyl. This is a special instance. And the in-space rangers, same thing with SPD and stuff. They use a lot of these specifically because they're in space. It's the laws of being a Power Ranger say that you're not supposed to escalate a fight. Zordon tells you not to escalate fights.
And Zordon's not here, man. Right?
Yeah. What's he gonna do? Ground us?
Hey, we're not
boss me. He's not my dad.
We're not supposed to use the Zords.
Zordon is still around because Zed's still around. And we're not
supposed to.
And we haven't written rules for Dino Fury yet, so Zed hasn't come back.
but if Zane's around, that means that Zordon's probably being held somewhere by Dark Specters. So,
oh my gosh, you're 100% right.
I was about to say, don't come up within space. Best series.
Okay. I'm not going to throw my dice tower.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. Wait, that's your dice tower?
Rescue. Yeah, it's a dice tower.
This is not a sponsor. This is it's made from I painted it, but it's from Renegade sells these. It's
functional dice tower.
I have a new goal in life.
Yeah, so do I. Talking to our corporate office to start carrying Renegade stuff again.
Yeah, definitely.
It comes unpainted with a blue, like this plastic thing is blue. It's all separate and stuff. So you don't have to paint it. I'm just
extra
a nerd, and I wanted Zordon to look fancy.
Yeah.
So
I'm all for it.
So we're not supposed to take our Zords to the mall, but we can totally ride them in space.
Exactly. Like if there was a space taxi laying around, you might be like, we'll call the Zords later. But there's no space taxi coming from the Strato.
Yeah, it's crunch time. We don't have time to hail a taxi.
Exactly. All right. So as you are rocketing off into, now that you're all morphed, for the people who are not aware, while you are morphed, as your Strato team bonus, you have environmentally sealed containers, your morphin shell, and you get the benefits of any power or any kind of grid power perk that you says that while morphed, that works. But also all of your jump distances are tripled because jumping, that's what we do. Because jumping.
We jump around.
That's how I got to the top of a 5-story building one time and then immediately jumped off to dive onto a bad guy.
Foreshadowing.
Nice.
It will be useful.
Jump around.
It's going to take roughly the speed of plot to get you to Callisto. But during that transit of plot, almost one would say a commercial break would be roughly how long it would take you as you zoom away, and then suddenly you're back into the area of Callisto. But during that commercial break, you actually have the opportunity to work with Ursix if you'd like. To have Cujo cracks up every time.
Every time. It's such a good voice.
It'll be my best friend. Yeah, if you ever need to call Ursix to get some information, there are some things that you might be able to learn about Callisto along the way. In order to do that, you can either choose to make a culture skill test at difficulty 12.
Ooh.
Or you could do science computers with an upshift because Earthix is giving you a hand. And that would also basically, it gives you the grid has a vast amount of information that you can tap into. So it's whether or not you've just kind of heard something or whether or not you want to actually figure stuff out.
Like to do the culture check, and I would like to do it with an edge because of my influence.
Fantastic.
I would like to
you
assist
may have
you
known
as we
something.
discuss about this.
Oh, fantastic. So you're gonna get another upshift. Boop.
Sweet. Okay, that's great. So I heard about this particular moon. Okay. Okay, that's sick. Okay, that's.
Oh, it's a good stick.
Yeah, no, it's a 21.
Callisto's no longer a moon. It's a Death Star. What was that?
It's a 21.
21. Okay, yeah. That's gonna. We're gonna go ahead and give you 2 pieces of information for that 21.
Team Strato.
Sorry, I bumped my thing. My files went crazy. Callisto is. It has a light atmosphere. It is breathable in case you happen to fall out of your morphin shell. The gravity is about 0.8 of normal, so your jump distances are quadrupled instead of triple.
Jump
because you're just a little bit springy. It was at one time your actual real piece of information. That was all geography type stuff. Your real piece of information that you're really concerned with, and the Syrian Istio definitely knows this. This was at one time long time ago. This was an Eltarian colony, long since gone. There hasn't been anyone from Eltar living here in tens of thousands of years.
So that's really fascinating. So there used to be Eltarians that lived here, huh? Wow. Okay. So,
as in Zordon of Eltar.
Zordon's homies. they used to roll up in this moon.
This used to be Zordon's homies' vacation spot.
Zordon and the homies used to roll up on this moon. Okay.
Did anyone else want to try the computer side of things?
I would. I have a specialization in astronomy. Is there a way that I can use that just to because I know the kinds of pertinent information that would be most immediately useful to us?
Absolutely. No, I think that would definitely apply.
Okay.
Can I give you assistance for an upshift? I've got a D2 in technology but no specialization.
Okay. I also get an edge on astronomy checks, so that gives me a second D20, correct?
Yeah, correct. And don't forget your extra one from Ursix.
So I'm rolling 3 D20s, taking the highest. Or is Ursix just giving me an upshift?
Upshift, yeah.
Upshift.
Okay. There will be no reason you'll ever roll 3d20.
Okay.
That I can think of at all.
So, because I have a specialization,
you roll all
I'm rolling
the
a
dice.
D2, a D4 that I already have, an upshift from Ursix, and an upshift from my teammate.
Yeah, so you got to pile the dice, and you'll take the highest of your skill dice, and potentially crit. Or roll terribly and fumble.
So,
don't mess with your skill dice yet,
alright.
because if any of them rolled max, make sure you check.
So, and I only take the highest of any of the skill dice.
Correct.
So that's a 25, and my D6 rolled max, so that's a crit.
Awesome. Yeah. So I will feed you the rest of the Callisto information. the grid results lets you know that there is Callisto served as an alien stopping point after the Eltar was, when the Eltarians took it over and used it as a colony. They discovered something on the moon and turned it into kind of a prison of sorts. At least that's what the grid seems to say, is that it's definitely some kind of storage, some kind of not good thing storage. It's not quite clear because it's really old.
Okay.
But most importantly, it does suggest that with that degree of success, it suggests that any kind of old Eltarian colony outpost, unless it has been legitimately scoured of, like everything, there's probably Eltarian tech still active. That stuff never really shuts down.
Okay. So it's
Built to last.
So there's some kind of storage thing, but it's unclear what is being stored, or is it like the definition of storage is unclear?
Definition of storage is unclear.
Okay, so we
technically the dumpster that they threw Rita in was storage.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It could either be the warehouse from Indiana Jones, or it could be a prison.
Absolutely. And then the commercial break fades back in as the Zords come sailing near Jupiter. There's a big, beautiful picture of Jupiter. The moons are flying around. And I need alertness tests from everyone. The difficulty is a 12.
And because I do not have a D2 in alertness, I get to roll with a snag.
We did forget to mention that. If you are unskilled in something, you can still roll. You can always try something, but then you are rolling with a snag.
Oh, this feels kind of bad. Oof. It's not a natural 1, but it's not good either.
But it's not great. So anybody 12 or better?
I've got a 16.
Oh, good.
Someone did.
All right, Jonesy. The perimeter alarms all over your the Kingfisher Zord starts freaking out, stating,
Can we have Reed do this check?
he's too busy flying.
Okay.
He loves flying. Oh wait, he's from London. He loves. I can't do that around Matthew. That seems wrong.
I want to hear it now.
Yeah, we have to hear it.
Now, you
Ryan.
Well, just ask nicely, and maybe Matthew will just say it.
What? No, it's my Cockney's awful. It's terrible.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's no. Oh, go on. No. So,
It started good. I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say
It's good for that first
go on.
sentence.
Okay.
It starts good.
You lost me in the second
all
half.
right, so so your permanent alarms start freaking out that there are energic signatures around the moon of Callisto, that there are things kind of attached to little rocks, like since we're like you've got a moon and it's got like almost like little baby satellites around the moon.
Mm.
And those have energic signatures, giving you two initial options: trying to avoid them, or getting closer and dealing with them however they may cross your path.
Well, the Strato Rangers never run from a fight.
This honestly could be possibly a latent security system from the Altarians.
Jonesy, what you got? I don't know what's going on. I only rolled a 10.
We've got. There are. Do I get any sense of how many of these things there are?
There are 3.
Okay.
With your sensors show you 3 of the signatures.
Okay. And we're all in our separate Zord.
Yeah.
Flying in a cool flock unison. Which, by the way, if you guys want to describe your Zords for the viewers at home, which is on the back of your sheet. second sheet.
I
start.
am flying a kingfisher, which is like they're not quite like hummingbird size or shape, but they're smaller birds.
Super long beak.
Yeah.
Crazy long beak. All beak.
Their beak and also breast of bird.
Yes, there is beak and wing.
I am riding a raven Stratozord.
Which is strangely green.
Yeah.
It's a green raven.
Yeah,
I love
a green raven. That's fine.
Because the blackbird is
It's a heron.
a lot of leg, a
Yeah.
lot of wing.
It's just all limbs, guys.
How do you fly this thing? It's all
Everyone
wings.
else is coasting, and then the black one's like galloping through space.
And the blue Zord?
I have the Condor Stratozord.
For some reason, we can all hear that, even though we're in space.
Yeah, it's because it comes through to your speakers because I'm the technician, which means I've programmed all of your Zord systems to make that noise every time I do
Override.
something cool.
I hear the cacaw. And then Reed has an owl. It is like a big, like a great horned owl. And the largest of the Stratozords, the one that forms the kind of main body of the Strato Megazord, is the golden.
Wyvern, because everybody else is a bird, and being shiny and gold and advanced as the advanced spectrums are, I have to stand out.
So
Like
it's
a
You just
It's
got to be
special.
extra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
it's
It'll
got a
just
big-
be
a big-
here.
It's got a big stinger cannon tail, and yeah.
Claws.
Yeah, so as you approach the energy signatures, how do we want to handle this? You know what? Because you can handle this in real time or in game time, let's go ahead and have everyone roll initiative.
What?
Dun dun dun.
I have already rolled initiative for the 3 energetic signatures, so you do not know what they do.
A little annoyed. Do I have a dot? Oh, why am I so slow? I don't have a dot in initiative, do I? I do
Uh-oh.
not.
Where
Which
would I
means-
find
which means
an
you are-
initiative dot?
Initiative is a speed skill that
It's
does not
under
have any
speed.
specialties under it. So it's
Oh,
just a
Oh,
it's
I
just a
see.
list.
It's one of under. It's a skill that's under speed, and
I
Gotcha.
got a 20.
this
so
feels bad.
for those kinds of things. I'm so used to it just being a box at the top of the character sheet.
Gotcha. All right. And what do we got?
A 3.
A 3. Issue.
I lead from behind.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's where you see how the battle develops, and you can lead us from there. Isio has a 14.
Chris.
I got a 20. An
Nice.
18 and a 2.
9s.
I got a 12.
And Jones.
Even though a natural 20 doesn't mean anything on its own, I got a 22.
Makes you feel good.
That is absolutely max. So I feel pretty good about that.
Well, in almost as if the narrative made your dice do what it is, you actually get to start things off. Not only were you the first one to see the thing, you are definitely higher than any of the energy signatures.
I am going to first. I want to go over the intercom and just point, just in case anybody else hasn't seen them. I give coordinates as best I can of exactly where these 3 things are, and say, they're small. There's only a few of them. We should be able to punch right through. And I am going to continue on course, and I am going to try and shoot one of them down.
All right. So attacking one, the way that attacking in SS20 works is it is a skill test like anything else, where the difficulty is one of the defenses of the target. In this case, the Eltarian blasting pylon. Spoiler.
What?
The Eltarian blasting pylon is a toughness 18. So you are looking to try and get an 18 or better. You are in your Zord, which means you use your personal driving skill to make this thing shoot its many guns or little guns or whatever. Sorry, I've got like gnats in my studio, and I'm not sure or I'm having hallucinations, which is also possible.
Maybe both.
It could be both.
It's entirely possible.
So you will want to make a driving test.
Okay.
With the no upshift in this case. I was trying to think. I was trying to think of as like Ursix can't really help you in this case.
Okay. So my driving test. Oh, should I? I guess it doesn't really matter. I just realized that the Zord has a different initiative skill than I do.
So that is the initiative of the Zord. Basically, if he's running on his own, if he's doing his own.
The autopilot initiative.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is an 18.
It also comes into play in Megazord stuff, but we won't. That's not now. What was that?
An 18.
An 18. What is the damage of your attack? It should have an effect written.
The wing. I assume I am using the wing beams. Does 2 energy, and then I'm assuming it's an upshift. It's an arrow and a number 1 in parentheses.
So you actually they are inherently accurate.
Okay.
So you actually get it up. We should have added an upshift to your attack.
Oh, okay. Well, I can re-roll that if you'd like.
Well, you already hit. You know what? Roll the extra skill die to see if it's crit.
Ooh, crit fishing.
So close, but it is not.
Okay. So the wing laser or the wing beam hits the energy pylon. Sparks go flying everywhere, but it's still like there's a gaping hole and smoke flying out of it into space. You can tell by the size of this thing that it is not. If it is got people in it, like if it's got crew, they'd have to be real small. The blasting pylons are about the size of like a street lamp.
Okay.
Mm.
They're not very big. That brings us to Chris on a 20. What would you like to do?
I guess we're blasting our way through them. Chris is going to fly the Wyvern Zord in closer and use his tail blast, which is I'm a little bit bigger, so am I going to have a downshift for this?
You will not. Your collective target is still roughly the same. Technically, the blasting pylons are larger, but I meant as far as like crew containment, like where the people are is not very big, or where the people would be.
Okay. In that case, I also rolled an 18, which is 3 energy damage and ignores armor.
So you actually were aiming at a toughness of 16 because it does have 2 points of armor. Were you aiming at the same one that he just finished off, or that he just attacked, or a different one?
Do the same one.
The tail laser on the wyvern just slices right through, and the thing just kind of breaks off halfway and starts floating away.
Aw.
One of the pylons is gone. Bringing us to Istio on a 14.
Whoop whoop. Well, I am going to train my wing blasts upon the next one, and let's fly bolts of energy.
Pew, 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 pew.
I say, then going and finding the page open I have with dice. Yep, I do not think I connect with only a 14 though.
It does not. It rattles off of the kind of the rocky side. These things are built out of small asteroids that have been put into orbit around it, so it's got a bunch of rock.
Did you roll it with an upshift for your weapon?
I rolled it with an upshift. I had a d6 and a d20 and got a 5 and a 9, which equals 14. Ooh. There's no re-rolling that can help that.
Nothing that helps that one.
So
9s on a 12.
All right, I'm going to see if I can attack with the I-beams that I have on the Zord itself. I hope I'm pulling from the right thing. And I apologize. This isn't a driving skill.
Because you are driving the vehicle, it is your driving skill.
Okay.
But all of the Strato Rangers, because you have the zero G trait, you have an upshift for accuracy.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Ranged combat anyway.
Thank you. So sorry.
This is not only your first time playing SS20, but this is the first time with the character. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No worries.
All right. So that is 14 only.
Yeah, it's going to impact on the service. Negative.
Yeah.
That's on a 12. On a 10, one of the blasting pylons kind of looms in just a little bit, and it just basically kind of rattles off a bunch of little tiny shots. I need to roll. It gets 2 shots.
Okay.
But they have to be at separate targets.
Okay.
I do not get to shoot. It has the multiple targets trait, not multiple attacks. So
got it.
We're looking at Dustin and Matt. So gold and yellow. Oh, both of the lighter spectrums. They have targeting of D4, but they are considered to be specialized. That is terrible. The first one, the one going toward Jones, or rather the Kingfisher, you get to, we forgot to mention, when you get attacked, you actually get to choose what kind of defense you want to do. Do you want to just shrug it out and use your toughness, or do you want to try and dodge it and use evasion? In the case of when you're not in your Zord, you also can, in some cases, tell me how you use willpower or cleverness to get around things. And unless something weird happens, it's just whether it's a hit or miss. But there may be instances where you choose the wrong defense, and I get to laugh evilly at you.
Evil laughs.
Never.
Would you like to use your toughness or your evasion in your Kingfisher?
I think my first instinct would be I don't want to get hit at all. Whether or not I would be able to shrug off a minor hit, I don't want it to accidentally hit something sensitive. So even though it is a lower DC, I'm going to go with evasion.
You literally just verbalized the whole point of the defensive thing better than I have, and I've run this game probably 50 times. Is the fact that you as a player were like, that beam might do something that I would rather dodge it than shrug it. Thank you. I rolled a total of 3, 4, 13. Does that beat your evasion?
My evasion is 15.
So you zoop out of the side. All right. What are we looking at there, Wyvern?
I'm going to use my toughness, which is going to be an 18, as the Wyvern brings his wings in and just tries to brace for an impact.
My big whopping 7 is really not going to cut it. So
that's a big move.
Okay. Yeah, big nothing. Pew pew pew.
Shrugs it off.
That was on a 10, bringing us to a 3. You actually still get to go before one of the blasting pilots.
Aha!
Two of them. There's two of them.
Real quick, guys, I just want to throw out there, we have still been getting some donations.
Is it lemon
We just
time?
got a $50 donation, and I'm sorry I can't see any messages or a who it's from because I'm looking at the donations on my phone. But to everybody who is continuing to donate, thank you very much. And that puts us at $2,485.
Is it almost lemon time?
We get a lemon at 3,000, so we're just a hair over $500 away to watch Cujo eat a lemon. So
you couldn't
keep
just
those
like mumble
donations going.
No.
If you've
Shout it
already
loud.
donated, you can always donate again. Or just share the stream, share the posts on our Facebook, and just get the word out.
just saying you could have just
If
mumbled.
you're watching this after the fact on like a video on demand or YouTube or something like that, go and donate to Extra Life, even if it's not part of the thing. You can always go to Extra Life and throw money at them. They do great stuff.
They're awesome.
Our donations and everything like that will still be active until December 31st. So as long as we hit our stretch goals before the end of the year, all of that stuff applies.
Oh god, now I'm gonna have that. If we don't hit 3,000, I'm gonna have a lemon hanging over my head for the rest of the year.
Yep.
The doom of lemon trees.
New Year's lemon.
And Rhodes just claimed credit for that $50 donation.
I see you,
thank
Rhodes.
Thank you. That was
only a few rocks will fall on Wednesday's session when we play again. It'll be fine.
All right, back to the Rangers. Mav, what are we doing?
So Mav will fly in to get close enough to one of the pylons and will only roll a 14.
A lot of 14s in this group.
So yeah, 14.
I rolled a 6 on my D6 too. I'm so sad.
Like you see that high skill die, and you're like, excellent. Here comes the crit, and then
yeah, even on a D12, you can still roll.
You gotta. No, the D20, like you can roll, you can max on your skill die, but if your D20 lets you down, it's still not.
Oh yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do on that one.
Yeah.
Dice.
We did mention the story points. Don't forget you have story points. If you roll,
it wasn't a natural 1 though. It was an 8. That's not going to be helpful.
You can also spend them on your skill dice. So like you mentioned that whole D12. Sometimes the D12 comes up a 1. That's a good use of a story point, is to try and flip that into a bigger number. All right.
But I'm gonna do a thing.
Oh, okay, doing a thing.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do a thing. As a free action, I'm going to spend one of my quips and speeches. I'm going to do a wicked-looking barrel roll and be like, woohoo, pew, 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 but all my shots miss, but I look really impressive
But you
doing
look
it.
cool doing it.
I'm going to be like, heck yeah, come on, let's go, team. And then I am going to grant an upshift to, I know names. Hold on.
I believe in you.
You can use Ranger Color if you want.
I'm gonna give 9s an upshift to his next roll.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mav. I will not miss this time.
All right. Then
there's no shame in missing. I missed 2. Sometimes you just gotta pick yourself up and try again.
I wasn't aware I had fallen. I will keep these thoughts in mind.
Killing me. I love it. All right, so Wyvern's getting another shot, but so is Istio this time.
What?
All right, Istio, how are you defending?
I am going to. I may also be doing a barrel roll. Let's find out once I take a look at my sheets. Nope. You know what? This condor is made for loving and tough. So come on, bro.
Using toughness, I have a 16.
Aha! If I had tried to evade, you would have hit me. But instead, you hit a non-essential part of my condor.
So the energy blast strikes the side of the condor's hull and just kind of like dissipates across the hull. It is too tough to penetrate and has no further effect. Wyvern, what are you doing?
Toughness again, bringing those wings back in over and just like tucking myself in and hoping for the best.
18?
18.
Does it?
Yes, 18 is my toughness.
Take 1 energy damage.
Well, snap.
And no
That
further.
starts.
It just sends sparks like scattering through inside your cockpit. The TV zooms in, and you go, whoa, whoa. Bring us back up to the top of the order with Jonesy.
As long as it didn't do the spinning one where you're like, whoa! I think you're fine.
That's more of a if you're defeated kind of thing. All right, so Jonesy, you are up.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Oh,
You got
Dustin's
More.
doing technical things.
Yeah, we're dropping frames again.
Oh.
Do I need to host?
Is that bad? I don't know what
Maybe
that means.
Basically, the video quality is very spotty, and sometimes when that happens,
yeah, the stream cut out, but it looks like we might be okay.
I'm gonna set up a thing on my side just to be safe.
Yeah,
Just
we
in case I
started
need a
dropping
host.
crazy frames, but once it reconnected, we seem to be okay now. Thank you, Starfish, for letting us know about that. We're trying to troubleshoot and keep everything going as best we can, but storms and internet connections are seem to be the linchpin this year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said it was so it is my turn again.
It is your turn to there are 2 more active pylons. You are now on the second turn of kind of in the orbit area of the moon. You can always choose to try and just get the heck out of Dodge, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will make it.
Okay. I don't want to. I want to keep going towards the moon. What I'd like to do. Let me know if I have any like downshifts because of this. I want to try and like fly past the 2 pylons and then flip my Zord over and fire back behind me. Kind of like the first half of a Crazy Ivan.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'll say that is sweetness enough that it will be a downshift on your target. Basically, it's going to eliminate your accuracy because you're kind of like sort of firing.
Okay.
But if it's successful, you will earn a story point for this awesome move.
Okay.
If it's successful, you're gonna look really freaking cool.
I mean, even if it's not successful, I'm hoping to look pretty cool.
There will be no damage.
All right, so it's driving skill, which I only get an extra D2, upshift because of my accuracy, downshift because of the crazy maneuver, so I'm even at an extra D2.
Mildly crazy Ivan.
Okay.
The distempered Ivan.
That is a 19.
Woohoo!
So your story points total now goes up to a 7. If anyone's I'm keeping track, but if anyone else wants to keep track, which also, by the way, I have story points too. Just as a side note, I get fewer than you do, but I still have some. All right, so yeah, you did 2 energy damage with your wing lasers. You looked awesome doing it, and that brings us to Chris on a 20.
Chris is a little bit miffed that his golden wyvern has been hit, and he is just going to fly straight in and once again blast away at the one that hit him this time with his tail blast again, which assuming there's no downshifts or anything for his reckless charge and blasting, is a 22.
You are just this is normal everyday blast style combat. So
And that's a 22 then for 3 energy damage and ignore an armor again.
Wow.
In a similar, almost deja vu, the Kingfisher's wing blasters softened it up, and the Wyvern's tail slices it out, destroying a second pylon. Then it brings us to Istio, 14.
14. Well, there is one pylon remaining, yes.
One undamaged pylon remaining, and because you would have known, it goes at initiative of 10. So
well,
Brian, I'm sorry. I apparently cannot do math. My attack was not a 19, it was only a 17. That probably would have missed.
it would have missed, so it would not have been damaged. However, the tail on the Wyvern does 3, correct?
Yep.
They have 3 health, so you went from finishing off the damaged one to finishing off the undamaged one.
I see.
Same results, but
Sorry about that.
thank you for being honest.
Math is hard.
Thank you for being honest and losing that story point.
Yeah, thanks, teacher. Sorry, we wanted to make sure you remembered that quiz you were supposed to give us.
You had a pop quiz? Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
I know what it's like to have less than savory players. I don't want to be that guy.
Mav respects her bestie for being honest. Okay,
Yeah.
keeping it honest.
What do we got, Istio?
Nav respects. So continuing my tradition, Istio's Condor will fly in close and try to get in there for a beak slash, and it completely misses.
Oh,
And completely misses. All
that's
right.
terrible.
And
It's fine. I rolled a
9
13.
on 12.
At least I'm precise, maybe.
All right. Nines is going to try to fly under to try to get out of its range for a second. Then as it flies up, aim the eye lasers basically at point blank to try to ensure that I hit this time.
And then don't forget your upshift from team leader. Yeah.
I already got it. Thanks, Math.
That looks like a sad
This
face.
many.
Oh man.
9! You did not hit!
In German, you did not hit. Okay.
Damn.
What were there
I
any?
tried.
Were there any ones that would have been good for real?
No, there were no ones. Unfortunately.
Which brings us to the pylon.
The lonely pylon.
The Lonely Pylon. Sounds like a band name. And that actually means counting. So we're gonna see one heading at Mav, and almost ironically, the Green Raven right in front of it gets a pop.
Yeah.
So Green Raven, how are we evading or toughing it out?
I think that the way Nines is built and the way this Raven is built, it's built to take punishment. So I'm gonna go toughness.
20 probably hits you.
20 would hit. Go figure. It would have hit evasion, but
either way. So you will take 1 damage to your Zord. Zouf.
Okay.
And then Mav, what are we doing?
Mav is going to attempt to barrel roll out of the way. Because that seems to be her signature thing. So we're going to go with evasion and hope that you roll terrible.
It's not going to do it. So.
Evasion's a 14, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I got close. Yeah. No. Meow. And that was on the 10, bringing us actually to Mav.
All right, here we go. Try that again. Really? Okay, now it's my turn to feel sad. Again.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
All right.
I was barrel rolling so hard that it messed up my accuracy.
You made yourself dizzy, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah. I did it again, guys. Damn.
All right, Jonesy, you are back at the top of the order. 1 pylon remaining.
All right, I am going to This time I am just gonna try and keep it simple, and I am just gonna try and shoot him with some wing beams again.
Meow meow meow.
No fancy footwork.
Wing work?
Wing work? It does not help.
Oh
It didn't
no.
sound-
A fumble is only if the D20 has a 1, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's going to be a big ol' miss.
Okay.
Are you taking the story point for that? Or are you gonna
The story point can only change the skill die.
No, you can reroll any die of a 1.
No, but what I'm saying is, are we gonna just get a story point for that, or are you gonna re-roll it?
He didn't fumble.
I did
Oh,
not
he didn't
fumble.
fumble?
Oh.
That's-
Oh,
Not
okay.
fumble.
He was asking
thought
if,
it
if a 1 on one of the skill dice could fumble. And it's not.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. Chris, Big Wyvern.
The wyvern's wings are going to flare out just to stop it dead in space.
Cool looking.
Try and aim at the last remaining.
We
Pylon?
actually forgot to talk about aim actions and things because this is the first combat.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about aim actions.
Yeah,
Same here.
So
Literally,
did
until
I.
right this
Wait,
second.
I can aim?
Yeah, I was like, hang on.
So depending on your Zord's speed, you have a number of you get a standard action, move action, and a number of free actions, and you can spend free actions to aim, getting up shifts on your dice. You can aim up to 3 times, but you may only spend one of those aims per attack. So if you had like a cool multiple missile launcher or something, you could like aim 3 times, then go and vomit out a bazillion cool aimed missiles.
Gotcha.
Specifically, it says right here, bazillion.
I was going to say, it sounds like a health issue if you're vomiting out missiles.
Yeah.
It's a lot of missiles.
The giant laser comes out of the one of the giant lasers comes out of the owl's mouth on Reed's sword, so he vomits.
That's fair.
Are you saying that I need to
so-
call a doctor for all the missiles that I'm, occasionally passing?
Passing. It makes it worse when you say passing.
I know. I was trying to be classy, and then it came out of my mouth, and I was like, that just sounds worse.
Yeah. So where were we at? Oh
That's
yeah. So
going to be,
you're aiming to do the
I'm
thing.
aiming. Yep.
Okay.
That's going to be a 12 and a 6 on the D6. So that's an 18 total and a crit on the D6.
So, and this is with your tail laser again?
Yep.
Okay. So that is a critical success, meaning you get to add an additional degree of success of kind of whatever you want. In this instance, more than likely, it's probably just more saucy damage. So it does a base of 3, and then the crit allows him to apply the base damage again. Going barf. Why am I barfing? Why am I so barfing? So tail laser hits. You don't even actually. It's like again. It's also the last enemy, so it makes sense that they would zoom in on the thing. The laser like starts at the top of the pile and goes all the way down and through the rock, and it blows up, and like the camera's got the wyvern on the other side. Dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
Excellent.
And that brings us out of initiative. The blasting pylons are no more.
Good shot, Chris.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'll teach these things to keep shooting at my teammates.
That's why we
And,
keep you around, buddy.
You can Reed chimes in and says that there's on the moon. You can easily see where the shuttle crashed because there's a crashed shuttle. I mean, not to belittle anyone's like powers of observation, but when you look at the moon and there's a crashed shuttle, and I say, "Where's the crashed shuttle?" You just point to it, and that's where it is.
It's there.
They're on the moon.
They're on the moon.
Would you eat the moon if it were made of ribs? Sorry. Totally pulled.
I think I might.
So there is Reed points out that nearby the shuttle nearby the crash, there is a deep moon crater where all of our Zords would probably fit. It might be a nice place because again, we don't know what Lord Zed sent. It might be a nice way to make sure that because we obviously need to go and check out the shuttle. But it'd be a good place for us to hide our giant robots, so they don't get, I don't know, taken.
Who's gonna steal our giant robots? I mean, come on.
Who left the keys in their Zord?
Wait,
Reed will stay behind and watch the Zords.
That's good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't that something came from the Moon Palace, correct?
Something definitely
And landed.
Something came here to this moon. We do not know what. We do not know what at this time.
Okay. That's kind of weird if all we're finding so far is a shuttle that can I investigate the shuttle? We should go investigate, guys. Probably
Alright,
not alone.
Do we have any sensors that we could do? I might be thinking a little bit more sci-fi than I need to, but any scans that we could do
You absolutely could. You can make.
Can we have Reed do one? From his station, because he's parked, right? He's not going anywhere.
Well, I think Jones is talking about before we land.
Yeah, before we land,
okay.
see if scan for life signs or anything in that sort of vein.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That would be an alertness, technically specialized sensors check, but nobody has that specialty. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I didn't give that to anybody. So it'd just be it'll be a difficulty 12 alertness test.
Okay.
For you to kind of do a quick do a quick pass by the crash site.
Did you remember to turn on your long range sensors? I also have alertness. I'm trying to aid you from over here to remind you to turn on.
Narratively explaining the cool lending of assistance.
You have sensors in yours?
No, I just have alertness D4.
Oh, I have
Is that enough to give me an upshift to aid, reminding me to turn on the long range? All right, so
absolutely.
My D4 becomes a D6.
Whoop, whoop.
Let's go, team.
That is a 19.
So there is multiple life signs. Now the Nasada shuttle was a one lady shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
The corporal she ran it. They're very heavily automated. She was supposed to be alone. This says she's not alone. Additionally, with your success, you will see that on the horizon, not too terribly far from the crash, there seems to be maybe a structure on the moon still, some kind of domed structure.
I point out the domed structure and advise caution. We are definitely walking into something. I was only hoping to get one life sign, and there are definitely multiples.
Well, whatever it is, we'll figure it out together.
All right, so Zords all landed. They fit perfectly, almost jigsaw-like, in the crater. Like doot 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 doot. And
wait, hold on. I must rotate 0.3 degrees in order to fit into this space.
Reed makes a snide joke about how we have to make sure that we don't fit too perfectly. It's Tetris rules will all disappear.
Yeah.
I am unfamiliar with this protocol. Is this somewhere in the older logs in the Morphin Grid?
I'll show you later. It's a Russian allegory for the fall of economy.
Oh. that seems deeply complex and perhaps not good with this setting.
I can't even right now. Okay, so Mav is thinking that multiple life signs, bad sign. So we know one person is supposed to be there, like the person in the shuttle.
Sandra, Colonel Rains or Corporal Rains is supposed to be the only one there.
And Jonesy reported that she is not. Is that what that is?
Yeah, there's definitely more than one life sign.
How many could you tell? How many?
Less than half a dozen.
Oof.
But it's kind of staticky and weird. There's definitely something about the moon that's making things a little wonky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think maybe any of them are space truckers. We might be able to get those condiments after all.
Unless they stopped to help out.
The quest for
No.
hot sauce continues.
I would like to think we would have seen a space truck.
Oh,
True.
that's a really good point. They wouldn't have
No
just left the truck.
convoys up here. Okay,
No, we had
so
to make the roll to see the space truck, but the ruin itself was obvious.
Yeah.
okay, so we need to actually go and investigate now.
Mm-hmm.
And Reed said he was staying behind, so maybe he can be like our eyes.
Reed will stick around, and in fact, actually, he pulls out a grid tech repair kit that Istio had hooked up a long time ago, back at the space station, and he's like, "I'm going to go ahead and start patching up the holes on the Zords while we're gone. The ones that took hits, I'm going to go ahead and patch up the damage."
Thank you very much, Reed.
We might need to leave here in a hurry.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Except I was thinking it in a London accent, which I'm not doing.
Ooh.
How does that sound again?
My imagination has inserted the accent for you. Don't worry.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, imagination.
Aw, my sister and her family donated $50.
Thanks, sister and family.
Thank you, guys.
You eat a lemon.
Not yet. Stop mentioning
We're
lemon.
working on it.
Most of the time.
Oh.
It's just like eating a solid lemonade.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is.
No,
That's a terrible comparison.
It's self-contained.
not like that at all.
Oh.
All right.
Sorry.
So as you land and get out of the crater and start heading toward the thing, the crash, it's only a couple hundred feet away. It takes you just a couple of little bounces to realize, kind of get down with the figure out, get that kind of gravity feel. From where you're standing, you can see the soot-caked ivory hull of the Nasada exploration shuttle. It's sitting at kind of a weird angle. It's buried a few feet deep in the rocky soil, and there's a trickle of smoke seeping out of out of really only one big crack in the fuselage. It's not on fire; it's just kind of like venting. Beyond it, kind of where you're standing, you can see that domed structure on the horizon. It looms like the maw of some great beast, the yawning entrance to some kind of ancient structure. What do you do? Rangers, what do you do?
Can I search for tracks?
Yeah.
Signs of other life?
You could use survival or alertness. Either one would work just fine.
I don't. I have a D2 in both, but
Well,
Your choice.
I happen in my escapades of taking bites out of crime to have a specialty in tracking. Would that apply to this effect?
Absolutely. So it might actually be. It might behoove Mav to help.
I'm gonna go to Istio and say, "Hey, I think we should go look for some life signs." And then I'll just point to the ground and say, "You start over here, and I'll help you by checking this."
Staying out of your way.
Yeah, no, you start here and I'll go over there, and I will just
will-
lend assistance.
You get
Great
the
idea, team leader. I'm glad to see you're getting serious about this.
Jesus.
All right, go ahead and make that tracking roll.
Here we go. Watch it just fall apart after my terrible. Oh, wait a minute. I'm rolling with a specialization.
You know what makes me sad? That I only have
My
2
die
quips
rolls?
and speeches. No, that I only have 2 quips and speeches. Because I want to help everybody all the time. I don't care about upshifts for myself. I just want to give them to my friends. That's why Black Spectrum's my favorite.
What
You know,
what do we get on that survival check?
15.
15 is actually a super solid roll, man. Yeah, so you kind of get down, you do the kind of sniff thing, which is weird in a helmet, but it works. I guess you have like Syrian nasal vents in your helmet. I do not know how this works. It's grid magic. It's hand wave. But you see
Magic.
it's just magic. You see the tracks. There's tons of them. But you actually see 2 very distinct types of tracks. One looks a lot like a crow's foot. Dun dun dun. And the other one looks like a bigger version of a crow's foot. Dun dun dun.
I was gonna say, where's the second one?
Yeah, no, it's literally like 2 different versions of avian clawed feet. It looks like the bigger one, there is fewer of those footprints.
Okay.
But there are definitely a lot.
So Istio will crouch down by the tracks and say, "Now don't look. Don't stress your eyes. I don't want you to get crow's feet while we're following these crow's feet."
Oh, I died a little inside that one.
Ah, good. This is music to my ears. There are at least 2 of them here.
At least
I point out the
2.
larger one and the smaller one.
Awesome. Yeah, so and they seem to be heading toward the shuttle.
Ooh. We better get there quickly.
We should tell the others, and then we tell the others.
I relay all the information you just told me.
All right.
We have access to message Zane back on base, yeah?
Correct.
I'll send a message to Zane, just updating them. We made landfall, but we've noticed bird-like tracks near the shuttle. We are going to investigate further.
Bird-like tracks. Careful. That sounds like. And at that moment, jumping up and over the shuttle as you draw closer, flapping on weirdly stupid arm wings that they don't look like they should be able to fly, but they can. Almost like they're being propelled by the hatred in their souls. They fly forward. There are 4 of these horrible, misshapen crow bird monsters. You guys have seen them before. You've probably fought a few of them before. These are Tengas. Roll that Tenga music. Okay, we can't do that. We're not allowed. But the Tenga music will be rolling.
Whoa, that song is great.
They've got fire in their eyes, and they are going to close the distance. It is initiative time, unless you would somehow like to stop time and talk to them.
Yeah, I have that on my
Wait, we
sheet,
can
but
do
I can
that?
totally do that.
I can't time stop.
I'm a machine. I can do that stuff.
I'm really sad. Can we... You know what makes me sad about no one playing Reed? There's no one to follow. The follow me ability. I miss it. Why don't you give us dots in initiative? Why am I so slow?
Because you look out for everyone else.
True. Oh no. This feels really bad.
Okay, what do we got? Mav, what do we got?
I rolled a 1. Can I just take the hit and get a story point for the team? On a 1.
Since there's no difficulty involved, there's no fumbling.
No? Okay, that's fair.
You can't fail an initiative check. In this case.
I don't know. My
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I can.
What
I'm
if
just
we
embarrassingly
all
slow.
roll ones? That would be a fumble.
It's not really a failure. It's just you're collectively being tactically strategic.
Mm.
We
Maybe.
all want to
Teasers.
lead from the back.
To the worst
Don't-
fault.
Istio?
So, as previously stated, I was going to find out if I could fumble in this check because I rolled 2 1s. I have a 2.
Are you both at snag?
No, I'm not at snag. I just rolled a 1 on the d20 and then a 1 on my d2.
Oh, which means you have a 2.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I rolled 2 1s, therefore I have a 2.
Wait, I don't understand. 1 plus 1? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a 3. I forgot that it was 1 plus 1.
Chris.
I actually got a 17.
All right.
Which is really not making me happy because I'm
Hey,
supposed
guys.
to protect everybody else.
I'm.
Nines.
No one should ever ask me to play on
20.
a Saturday night because my dice refuse to cooperate with me on Saturdays.
Apparently.
There's now
Uh,
recorded proof.
A 9.
A 9. All right.
That's like my name. Sorry. So stupid.
Wait, you
Saturday
rolled a
night for
me?
everybody.
My initiative
Jesus.
is my name.
Did- My
Yeah,
rolls are doing
okay.
so well because I'm coming from the future. It's Sunday for me.
Yes.
It's already happened. You know,
Yeah, there you go.
This
Playing
is-
the quantum mechanics.
yeah.
Can you fix my dice in the future because they're being really rude?
Nines, you are on a 20. You're actually head of the pack.
Okay. That's not anxiety inducing. That's fine. I'm going to summon the gauntlet. Can I do that? Do I just automatically have that out?
It's a free action.
It is a free action for you to. Oh, now we can talk about how the actions work. Okay, so every character has a speed stat. Of your essences, you have a speed. If you are a speed of 1, which none of you are, because that would be tragic. A speed of 1 means you may take either a standard action or a move action.
Okay.
If you have a speed of 2, you get to take a standard action and a move action. From speed 3 on, every point of speed you have past 2 gives you a free action. So if you have a speed of like 97, which you don't, you'd have 93. Actually, that math is bad. You'd have 9. Math is hard. Numbers are too high. Let's say if you have a speed of 5, you have
I watched your brain shut down mid-sentence.
reload. Yeah, so a speed of 5 means you have a standard action, a move action, and then 3 free actions.
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
Your speed minus 2? Minus 2 free action?
Yes, that would be a
Yes.
really wise way of saying that, in not what I did.
Oh well.
So, and free action, standard action is what you do to do almost everything. If it's almost any kind of interaction with the universe that is not at the speed of thought, so like attacking, doing a computer check, doing all that stuff, that almost all of that is going to be standard actions. Move actions, I know that sounds stupid. It's used to move you around.
Sure.
Sometimes you use them to do other things, but most of the time it's used to move you around. Free actions are used to do anything that you could do kind of in the split second. Like I want to think about you can if you looked at me and said, "Hey, I want to make a culture test," and you're not actively like flipping through an encyclopedia to give you a bonus, you're just going, "Huh, that's a free action." That's you just
Okay.
You also spend free actions to aim. You also, if we were using a map, for the people who haven't played Essence 20, if we were using a map, you can spend free actions to add 5 feet to your move action when you take your move. So
Okay,
higher
cool.
speed
That's
characters do in fact run a little farther, run a little faster, but they have to spend. They're basically focusing on just booking.
You
Okay.
are. Oh, you can also do things like prepare a contingency action, or defend, or hide.
Yes, you can use you can use standard actions to. So she mentioned a contingency action. This is actually something that Essence 20 does because we do not have attacks of opportunity. We also do not have a I hold my initiative sort of thing. it is at your turn, you make an if-then statement. You go, if a Tenga gets within range of me, I punch it in its stupid beak. Or if something comes through that door, I blast it. And then once you've put that that contingency action into place, it is logged into the round, and if the circumstance comes up, it triggers and it happens.
Got it. Okay.
You don't lose your turn or anything like that. It's just you basically are spending your turn to set up something if it happens. That's how you can kind of do attacks of opportunity. Because if let's say you're fighting somebody and you are pretty sure that your friend's going to be the one that takes them out, you could say, I'm going to do my contingency action is if this guy tries to run, I'm kicking him in the liver, or whatever. I don't know why the liver, but
or wherever you kick him,
wherever you decide to kick him. So there you go. And then defend. She mentioned defend. That is an action that basically allows you to impose snag on all attacks that target you until the beginning of your next round.
Oh, cool. Okay. How far off are the Tenga at this point?
I would say they're roughly about 40 feet.
Okay.
Slowly flying towards you.
I would like to propose an if-then action, then.
Okay.
If one flies close to me, I'd like to jump into the air and knock it the hell down to the ground with my gauntlet.
I love it. For those of you watching at home, Green Rangers get all Rangers get their power weapon. They get their special, their weapon that they manifest out of the grid. And Green Rangers get kind of a little more creative with their stuff. And in this case, basically Nines has a power fist. He has a big, oversized, Hellboy gauntlet that's green and power fisty.
It's the infinity, the gauntlet.
And then as a little quip, you'll just hear what sounds like a tape being rolled back, and then the sound of Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Zach saying, "You messed with my friends. Now I'm gonna mess with you." And then just stand ready to go.
Awesome. That's extra awesome for multiple reasons.
Yeah. I may have done homework to make sure I had stuff like that ready to go. It's okay.
The people who are watching at home, Nines is made. He's a synthetic ranger that is made up of a bunch of digitized personalities of past rangers.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, I specifically was like, I need to have one-liners for all these characters ready to go.
That's fantastic. That's fair. So a little bit of Zach that's in you is like, oh, this is the perfect time. Right, so you set up.
I start hopping back and forth on fists like I'm dancing a little bit, but that's all I do.
Chris, on a 17, you are next. The Tengas are still in flight, but none have gotten any closer.
Chris is going to summon his golden power staff and move towards. He wants to be as close as possible to as many people in the group. Okay. If he can be between two other rangers, so shoulder to shoulder.
You're going early enough in the round that you can absolutely choose pretty much anywhere you want to be, because no one really has separated out of the pack.
Okay. I will say, definitely then, and then we'll also, if one of the Tengas come within my 10-foot reach, I'm going to try and whack it. Yep.
All right. Contingency. That was on a 17. One of the Tengas says the nest could be in danger and dives at Istio is my primary target.
Rip.
Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm tough enough, I think. Let's find out. Let me see what my stats are. You know what? I'm quick enough. Turns out my condor is thick. Me, not so much.
All right, so you are going to try and sidestep. I'm specifically trying it is making a diving attack with its talons. It's trying to grab you.
In that point, I would like to spend the story points.
Oh, okay.
I would like to increase my evasion by 5 because I don't want to be grabbed.
Nice.
All right. So
Hey, I've seen the original movie. I know what happens next.
True story.
It dives down and it tries to get its fingers onto you, and you easily sidestep him. I will not tell you how bad he rolls because I do not want you to think that the story point.
Did you backflip? Did you backflip away?
Yeah, no, I 100% backflipped away and then pointed up to the sky and said, "Watch out, team! It takes two to Tenga."
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh, that hurt.
So good.
Everybody
I
takes
still
one.
struggle with puns, but I feel something in my chest that hurts after that one.
Everybody takes 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Man, did I? Istio's not a comedian, is he?
No, he's
first of
She.
all,
Oh, sorry.
it's all good. Second of all, no, is not from around here and is a SPD agent.
Okay.
Oh,
man,
that's a shame.
I
Because
was hoping that because you are rolling out those puns, one of the influences you can have is comedian, and that you get basically bonus story points for making stupid puns.
That's
Yes.
fucking awesome.
I thought it was.
I mean, pooping. I don't know if we care.
I don't know. I thought that was an origin. I think it's actually an origin, is it not? Sorry, I love this game.
I believe it is an origin. Now that you bring that up,
Yeah.
There's a yes. There's the comedian origin in Power Rangers because it's your comedic self. Yes.
I'm a warrior born, so I don't have that either. I'm just really a terrible player that just likes to whip out dad jokes and puns every time. Like, this is what you get by inviting me to be on the stream.
No,
that's what defines a terrible player. I disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So
I think you're fantastic.
In that last minute, you just did 3 across the stars drops. Warrior born, Warrior born, not from around here, Styrian, and
Agency.
SPD agent.
SPD, yep.
Agency is in the book as well.
I'm trying not to forget these before I go to sleep.
Fine, these will be on YouTube. This game will be on YouTube, I was told, so you can just go back when you wake up.
Not only are we broadcasting live, but we are recording everything, so that all of this will end up saved on Twitch and it will be on YouTube.
Cool. And I'll probably repost it through Tales From as well. Tales from a Professional Nerd, my YouTube show on Fridays. All right. So that was a 14 on an 11. Another one of the Tengas comes flying in. We're gonna make Istio not the target. Contingency action. Power Fist gets to go off as Tenga number 2 comes sailing in. And this time, it's just going straight for a razor beak attack. It is trying to just peck the snot out of you.
Okay.
Yes. Go Nines.
Just to make sure I understand this, so I'm doing brawn.
No,
it's I have an attack. Duh. Okay.
Right. Now you are jumping up in the air, which because as a Green Ranger, normally I would just say narratively you just could jump up in the air and just do it. As a Green Ranger, if you can get more than 5 feet away from any other of your friends, you'll actually get a bonus for solo strike because you're fighting him on your own. So what you need to do first is roll an athletics test to see how far you jump.
Okay.
And
now,
because we're on the moon, all of our jump distances are quadrupled, aren't they?
So this is a standing high jump.
Okay.
A standing high jump is technically a difficulty 18, which means anything above 18, every dot above or every result above 18 would be normally for a normal person 1 foot of distance.
Sure.
But for a Power Ranger, it'd be 3 feet, and for a Power Ranger on the moon, it's 4 feet.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So jump away.
Okay. Let me just go for it and see what happens. That is 20.
Okay. Yeah. So that gives you 2 higher. So it's an 8 foot. There's an 8 foot jump. Basically, you just without any running start or anything, you just went barrel like Mario, just straight up and go to punch. So
awesome.
You are going to get your solo strike bonus because there is no one within 5 feet of you because you are 8 feet up in the air.
Okay.
20 or 8 plus however high you are, 13 feet in the air.
Okay. Now, this solo strike bonus, so I understand, does it like an edge or an upscale?
It should have a number listed to it, like an upshift of 1 or an upshift of 2. I think at your level it's still only 1.
1, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you get it on.
So
Basically,
then-
if you're ever, as long as you are fighting with no help from friends,
Got it.
you get an upshift to your punch. Or blast, or any
That
other.
is a 15.
So the Tenga not being able to evade as he was trying to specifically poke, I was going to take it off of his toughness, and that will absolutely connect with said Tenga. How
I
much
did
damage?
roll a 6 on my skill die. I don't know if that factors in.
Absolutely, that means
that would
not
be a
only
crit
was it a
then.
success, but you verified the crit. So what is the base damage of your power glove?
Power glove, 1 blunt.
1 blunt. So are there any other alternate effects?
I don't see any other notes attached to it. It
Okay,
just says got
then
reach D4, blah blah blah.
In this instance, basically, you're instead of doing 1 damage, you're going to do 2. You have feathers go flying. He is not defeated.
Mhm.
So he will get to continue his attempt to peck you.
Okay.
Stay on top of them.
Be careful, they're feeling peckish.
That's
Please stop.
Don't stop.
Jones
Please don't.
says,
I'm loving it.
"Please stop." I'm loving this. This is
so
great.
are you evading, defending? What would you like to do?
Let me see. My defenses. So I see it for my Zord. Where do I see my defenses on just me?
First page.
Under each essence, there is a defense immediately underneath. And because you are morphed, there is a second row that might have some bonuses based off of armor and things.
I am going to go with toughness. 100%. My morphed just adds armor plates to my suit. So
does a 16 get past your, or equal to or past your defense?
It does not. I have an 18 right now.
So just beaks all over the thing, and then you guys both kind of like come down to the ground. He is now landed next to you because he has to land at the end of the diving attack. Otherwise, he would not have gotten the bonus. And then he's standing there staring at you, angry and peck. Bringing us to a 9. That is Jones.
All right.
There is 1 in front of Istio. There is 1 in front of Nines, and there are 2 still flying in.
I am going to run over to the one that is already hurt in front of Nines.
Okay.
And I am going to manifest some power blades. And as I run past and behind him, I am going to try and slash at the back of his knees.
Awesome.
It's a little brutal.
So, as a yellow ranger, you have your power blades are manifested automatically as a pair of light weapons.
Yes.
You may choose if you would like. You can either do 1 regular everyday attack, just hitting somebody like normal, or you can take basically a regular swing and then an offhand swing at a -1. Because technically, you're doing multiple attacks too. It's a thing.
Okay.
So you can try and swing twice, but at a penalty if you'd like.
I actually have a perk called Triple Strike. Does that mean that I can... It says Triple Strike D2. Does that mean that my attack changes? Essentially, I get 2 downshifts, but I make 3 attacks?
So what you do, if you do Triple Strike, you have to spend a personal power. You activate this power, and it allows you at no penalty to swing with both of your hands and then make a third swing. Well, both of your weapons, your whatever, in your case, blades. And then you make a third unarmed strike using that die as your skill. So in the case you have a Triple Strike of D2, you would be, that third swing is going to be at a D2 no matter what.
Okay.
Like you stick him with an elbow or something. Or
it's like knife, knee to the nuts,
Actually,
The last one has been popular.
So I'm gonna do that.
All right.
So the power blades, I would do 2 attacks at no penalty with the power blades.
Because you specifically activated triple strike, you get to become a little Cuisinart.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
whip them. Whip them.
All right. So first attack with the power blades.
I will since I can now, I will use evasion because their evasion is a little better than their stuff.
That's a 14.
You get nothing but feathers.
Okay. So second power blades attack is a lot better. That is a 20, and if it hits, I crit.
It absolutely does.
Okay.
And that will do a bazillion points of damage compared to the fact that he only has 1 left. So he when Tengas are defeated, they burst into like a cloud of feathers and often kind of fall down and then later fly away.
Okay.
He is defeated.
Am I so I have a movement of 40. Am I allowed to move to the other Tenga to make my unarmed strike?
Nothing that says that you can't. So
Okay.
do it.
I'm gonna do
Enjoy that punchy kicky goodness.
that. And I am going
Kiku.
to again, I'm gonna try and kick him in the knee. I'm just trying to immobilize them so that someone else can finish these guys off.
All right.
And that is so that unarmed strike is with a D2 then.
Because of the triple strike, that sets your die what that third thing is.
Okay.
Even if you had an unarmed strike of like D6 or D8, your triple strike always sets that die. But as you gain levels, it gets better.
No. That's not gonna make it.
You kick him in his crow feet, and he's like, that was.
I go to like slide into his ankles, and my foot just like goes between his legs.
On an 8, one of the ones flying, seeing that Jones has taken out one of his friends, he will try and dive at the illustrious Jones. I called you illustrious.
Well, he's welcome to try.
Ooh, this is a decent roll. How are you gonna? What would you like to defend with?
I'm gonna try and evade with a 17.
23 will hit.
Ouch.
Did good. But it's still only going to be 1 sharp damage as the claws come slicing through. I don't know why they sound like chickens right now, but all right, that is on it.
Weirdly enough, my memory is like I think when tangos were a thing, I think they did use chicken sounds. Like
Probably.
It's quite possible. And then on a 3, the other one that's in mid-flight is going to come over and we get to try another contingency action. All right, Goldie.
Oh,
Come down and try and play baseball with a diving Tenga.
1D. That is going to be a miss because I rolled a 3 on the 1D20. So I'm not even going to. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. All right, well, then he will attempt. He's going to try and grab you as part of his dive. He's going to try and grab and tackle. How would you like to defend against this?
I even knowing that he's going to try and grab and tackle, I'm just going to try and sort of stand my ground, root myself as much as possible, and hope that when he slams into me, I'm the stronger one out of the two of us.
All right. That would be a 17 to hit. I'm willing to bet that your armored toughness is much higher than that.
Is a little bit higher than that.
Yeah. He is not trying to damage you, however. He was just trying to get a grapple on you so that way he could get his free beak attack, which now happens.
Oh.
You were absolutely super tough. You were like, I'm not going anywhere. You didn't move. You're like, eh. And he's like, I didn't want you to move in the first place. But a 9 will not peck you. That 9 is no good. Istio on a 2.
Oh, come on. 9s is doing fine.
Everyone
is a valuable member of the team.
All right. What we got?
I, will move my hands around. These Tengas aren't going to have something to crow about today. Lunar Lance Power, go!
All right. Man.
Oh.
But then I roll a 6. So my puns are good, my rolls not so much.
Good is a term.
Yeah. You know. It's the term that I'm building around myself in my mind palace. So
all right, Mav.
Okay, are there any Tengas left in the air, or have they all landed?
They have all landed. We have one in front of Jones, one in front of Chris, and one in front of Istio.
Okay, so Mav is gonna run towards the one that attacked Jones, the one that's in front of Jones. She's going to mid-sprint summon her power staff, and she's going to jump up and try to land a strike on this Tenga.
There's a typo on your sheet. The two-handed damage is supposed to be 2, not 1.
Oh, okay. So that's
at the convention we ran it, and the guy goes, what's the point of me wielding it with 2 hands instead of me just not having an extra hand? The damage got carried over. So it's supposed to be 2, not 1.
Okay, sick. That's what I'm doing.
Whack. I will try to evade it.
Oh, no, you won't. I rolled a 22.
Nice.
Yeah, that's going to connect. Is it a crit 22 or just 22?
No, it's just a 22. I rolled a 2 on the D4.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So
it would have been really cool if I rolled a 4 on that. But she just comes down.
He does not. He does not go down. But that's a solid hit. We've seen that at this point it is well known that the Tengas have 3 health. So
don't you ever lay hands on my best friend.
Talons. We have talons. 9s on 20. Oh, we're eating 11. We're not eating 11. We didn't get there yet.
Sorry. So I'm gonna have to keep mentioning 11. I am gonna go after the Tenga that is attacking Istio.
Okay.
And see if I can't just dive through the air for like a Superman punch with that same gauntlet.
Nice.
All right. So there.
Not gonna get the solo strike on this one because Istio's there.
Yeah.
But, there will still be punching.
10.
Not enough punch.
Okay, I tried.
You got too close to me. I'm sorry.
If anything, I'll just move in there to get its attention, to really harry it enough so it'll stop paying attention to Istio.
Don't forget, now that you guys are in combat, if you feel like you're being ineffectual, you can always lend assistance to others who possibly could finish things off, things like that. The Essence 20 is very big in about teamwork. It is awesome. A very, very teamwork based game. Chris on a 17. Golden Ranger.
Chris is going to drop his power staff because he's currently being grappled by the other Tenga. He is going to try and grab hold of it. So yeah, it's holding him, but he's holding it. It's not getting away while he can hold on, sort of thing. And then just try and headbutt it.
A Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah, just smack.
Okay. I grabbed the wrong thing. I want to see if there's any penalty to that, but I don't think it will be. Got to get my thing. All right, you are grappled.
Consult
You are
the tome.
Your movement is 0, but there is no penalty to you. It's making this unarmed attack. So yeah, you it's got its arms on you. You've got your arms on it. You're like, all right, take it, and then you may headbutt him with your amazingness.
I'd like to use a story point because I rolled a 1 on my 1d20 and a 4 on my 1d4. So I'm kind of hoping at some point that might even out a little bit.
All right. So re-roll that d20, see what's up.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah.
Do better.
That was a 14 on the d20 and a 4, so 18 total with
That
4
will
on the d4.
connect. That will absolutely connect. Your unarmed damage is a 1 stun.
Just be the 1 stun. Yeah.
So this is the first time we're seeing any stun damage applied. The way stun damage works is it is regular everyday damage that also takes away your enemy's movement, but you lose 1 point of stun damage at the end of your round. It kind of slowly fades away. If you are ever brought to 0 health and any of it is stun, you actually get knocked unconscious. So you can stun someone out until they're knocked out. But if you don't kind of keep stacking it or use it to finish somebody off, it eventually will fade away. But they can't move. That's important, especially for Tengas that might have diving charges and things like that. That was a 17. The one on Istio is going to attempt to peck you, but I don't get my diving bonus because I can't. I'm not flying anymore.
I shall attempt to roll out of the way of this peckishness. Wait for a real meal!
A 13 probably does not hit your evasion.
Aha! I dodge directly out of the way.
All right.
I dodged directly into the sword. Damn it.
I frequently do that, so...
Jones on a 9.
I am going to... Now, you said that I could use my power blades to attack twice and downshift the second attack, right?
Effectively, the light weapon gives you multiple attacks. The translation is weird, but it effectively you'll be able to take 2 swings at -1 instead of normal people have -1 and then -2. You get to go at a little better.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So is it just a -1 or is it a downshift?
Downshift 1. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, if you ever hear me say -1, it means downshift 1. There is very, 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 very few static bonuses or negatives.
And it downshifts both attacks.
Correct.
Okay. Just making sure I'm doing it right. So I'm gonna make 2 attacks. Against the one attacking me, obviously. That is a 20 for the first, which deals 1 sharp. It is not a crit.
Your second one is unnecessary as that he falls down in a pile of feathers. You finished him off. That's the one that remember Mav came over and cracked it over the back of the head with the staff.
Right.
You still have your other swing.
I'm gonna
you have 2
against
targets.
the
one in front of Chris and one in front of Istio.
I'm gonna go after the one in front of Istio.
Super appreciate.
You look like you could use a hand.
I could use anything you got at this point.
Looks like you could use a knife. That is a 13, probably.
No, super close. It ducks just out of the way. Perhaps maybe it was that opening. You could use a hand. He heard you coming. That is on a 9. You knocked out 8. Bringing us to a 3. The one on Chris. Currently, it's the battle of headbutts and headbutts and beaking. He will try to beak you since you are currently grappled. A 10 will not do anything.
No. Just shrug it off.
Yep. Istio on a 2.
Oh yeah, I am going to aid my giant fisted green friends. So I'm going to lend assistance, and that's me this turn.
Okay. And then Mav.
I'm going to backflip over to this Ishtio and just be like, "Hey, bird brain, hands off my Blue Ranger friend." Sweet. I rolled a 22, but this time it's an 18 plus 4.
Woohoo!
So that's crit.
Yeah,
Or
that is a crit.
Well, was it a 4 on the D4?
On the D4. Yeah, it's 4 on a D4.
Yeah, so that is gonna knock him for a loop.
Okay, so the way I see it is that Mav actually takes like her two-handed staff and like goes baseball swings the Tenga's head right off.
Yep, turns bursts into feathers. Which brings us to the end of the round. So Tengas have they are, although they are trained warriors that have been notorious for thousands of years, they are also cowardly. And in any situation where a Tenga pack is attacking you, if they have a hang up on their threat page that says if half or more of them have been defeated, they have to roll a d6.
You have them for left.
And if they roll equal to or over the number of Tengas currently remaining in the combat, they flee. They're like, nope, we're out of here. And says as that there is only one left, he cannot. He can't fail that, and he immediately is self-defeated and flies away, and all of the unconscious ones also fly away.
I'd like try and hold on to him.
Oh, you know what? Would you like to try and hold on to him?
Yeah.
All right, rock and roll. Let's do.
Especially
You get to do a brawn test. He gets to do a brawn test, and whoever scores higher will break.
But
So strong.
Brian's face tells the entire story.
I got a 19.
Did you not roll a 4?
I did not roll a 4. I rolled a 19.
Only
Could not roll a 4.
Only a 4 or lower would have been defeated by my puny Tenga. Yeah, so he tries to fly away and he just can't. Oh wait, but no, that's the one. Oh, that is the last one. Oh, that didn't work out. So yeah, this is one of those instances where defeated is going to be altered. Normally, defeated means these guys fly away. In this case, I guess you captured a Tenga. Not expecting that. All right, so we're out of initiative. The Tenga number 3 has surrendered. What are you doing?
He's going to sort of put him in an arm lock, like grab both arms, put him up behind his back, and turn around and just look at the others. He's like, I kept mine.
Was that the objective? I was not aware. I just start wiping the blood of one of them off on my suit.
Okay, so here's my idea. Wielding my power staff, I would like to use my persuasion skill to go over to the Tenga and say, "Tell me, who do you work for?"
Who
and just
does
try to
number
convince
2 work for?
try to convince them to talk because I have no ranks in intimidation.
No, obviously leadership won't apply here, but yeah, go ahead and make your persuasion roll. His cleverness is not that high.
I will be right back. Give me just a second.
No problem.
Cool, because I rolled a 16 with a 4 on my D4.
Yeah, no, easily enough. Pexter, Lord Zed sent Pexter and us here to get the nesting stone.
What is the function of this nesting stone?
Bird abominations.
like inside her helmet, she makes this face. And then she says, and then she looks. So,
an army unlike anyone has ever seen.
where is this stone located right now? Do you know? Is it in the dome place? And then she takes. She has Chris point the Tenga's head towards the dome. Like, over there.
The nesting stone is in the ancient temple. Pexter's already inside. You'll never beat him. I'm leaking into
I would like to hit him in the face with my
You'll
staff.
never beat him, He-Man.
Can I hit him in the face? Can I hit him in the face with my staff?
You bonk him. Yeah, I mean he's he's a captain.
I would like to bonk him and be like.
There is no roll necessary. Bonking happens. He's like, yeah.
And then I say, okay, we got the information we needed from this one. Do what you want with them, Chris.
Chris
Later.
would like to take the time to take him back to Reed.
Yeah, Reed's like, whoa, we have a
I figure SPD, put a call into Zane, maybe get somebody from SPD. They can have this one.
Istio, do you have a digitizer?
I was going to say, can I spend a story point to have a digitizer?
You absolutely. You could 100% digitize this Tenga and put him on a prison card.
I mean,
Rad.
when I get the digitizer, it comes with a card, right? Because otherwise I need to spend another story point. Okay.
No, in fact, I'm not even going to make you spend the story point because one of your influences is that you are a former SPD agent. So this is kind of the thing that influence rolls into is you occasionally have access to cool stuff that, if you, and not only, even if it did cost you a story point, I would have given it back to you because that's super cool.
Hey girl, go arrest this Tenga.
You now have like this weird little ID card that's got a Tenga on it like this.
Perfect.
Amazing.
I will then store that away safely, making sure that it's in a ever dry pocket, because even the arrested deserve our respect. They deserve to be rehabilitated.
I love it.
Hold on, Ishio. You want to rehabilitate a Tenga?
Yeah, why not?
We
It could be a
literally
heroic Tenga.
Okay, but
it wasn't that bad. He gave us the information.
And now, if this scenario ever gets a sequel, there will be a new Strata Ranger, and it will be a Tenga.
Right.
Like there's that's going to happen.
Okay,
now.
Yes.
but like homebrewed race, homebrewed influences.
Well, it'll just be a different version of not from around here. One of those influences where it's not from around here bonuses. It's trustworthy, but it can fly. Take it.
That's a weird choice for a Power Ranger, but okay. So Mav will say, we got to get into that temple. They already have a head start on us. Let's go.
I need alertness tests. So what we're going to do, this is an alertness. This is a group alertness test. You are you're trying to add your degrees of success. This is not a more or less. This is you're trying to accumulate information as you then, because you just beat the Tengas, you've got to cross by the Nasada shuttle on the way to the temple.
I got a 5.
5 total.
The difficulty on this?
10.
20.
All right, so that's 2 degrees of success.
I rolled a 13.
That's 1 degree of success. Istio, you look sad.
I got a 9.
Oh,
my dice are just. I'm going to swap over to physical dice when we take a break.
Estio, you forgot. You have idea points. They can give you an edge on smart space skills.
Yes, I do have those.
Don't forget.
I appreciate the reminder. I'm saving those for a non-group check or group.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. What Jonesy? Did you get the alertness test?
You said alertness. That is.
Let's go, Jonesy.
8.
All right, that's okay. So if you would have had 0, so the way that this works is that there's basically a stair step of information. At 0 successes, the shuttle is broken. That's what you would have learned. Probably because of being shot by the defense pylons is basically what you'd assume. 1 to 2 successes, you actually can hear there is a loud banging sound from a compartment on the side of the shuttle. And at 3 or 4 successes, the shuttle itself actually is not that badly damaged at first glance. It might even be able to re-fly again with just some minor repairs.
Reed may be able to address this issue and possibly repair it as well.
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, how many successes did we end up getting?
That's all the information you got.
Okay.
There was more on the chart, but you don't get to know that.
Mav's like, hey, do you guys hear that? It's coming from the shuttle. It's coming from the shuttle.
We better investigate.
Nyes will walk up to the compartment and just hold his morphed ear to listen a little bit more closely.
Way to.
He said.
Is there a way to open the compartment? Like, can I try to assist?
So you look at this, and what looks like it's happened is that it's the lid that holds the compartment. It looks like it's got some claw marks on it, and it maybe has been bent a little bit.
Claw marks?
Yeah, like talons. So if anyone wants to try and pry it open, you can either just use weapons and like try and blast it off, or you can use your brawn to try and yank it off.
I have one. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say I get edge on non-combat brawn tests, but I only have a D2. So I was going to say like.
I am going to assist because I haven't. I'm going to assist.
I have a D4 in brawn.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to lend assistance to whoever's going to take.
I was going to say I have nothing to bring to the table, but I can provide like extra leverage.
Matt's just like
there's 2 sides of the plate, so you get 2 people could make the test. There's enough of you lending assistance that you pick 2 people, and each of those people will get 1 upshift.
Yeah.
Everybody
gets an upshift.
I can upshift 9s.
I'll upshift Chris.
All right, then brawn away as you start bending the plate out of the socket.
Come on.
Remember, lift the legs.
And they taketh away.
Oh no.
This many.
Oh no.
All right,
Chris, what do you got?
Your side, you're pulling on it. It's just not wanting to budge. Chris, what do you get?
I forget about the gauntlet. I'm just trying to pull with my regular hand.
Like, I have this other thing. Fuck.
Thanks to the edge, I got a 18. Without the edge, I got a 10.
The thing starts to buckle off of one side. You can see in. You're pretty sure that it's going to take one more degree of success to pop it completely off, but you can actually see inside that there is a squirming humanoid shape under some kind of like foil blanket.
Do not resist. You're being rescued.
But they can't. Rescued. Wait, you didn't sound like one of those birds. And in the kind of corner of the thing where the plate is pulled back, the foil pulls down, and it is a Latina lady named Sandra. You've seen her. Zane showed you who she is. You know, the data file and whatever. She's like, whoa, Power Rangers. She tries to squeeze out.
Oh, good. You're not a burrito.
Sis.
Yeah.
If we try to pull this plate off, you think you could push from your side?
Very deductive, Istio.
Absolutely. She actually, with on her roll alone, she manages to pop the other side.
When she says like, "Ooh, Power Rangers," Chris just says, "Ooh, astronaut."
She tumbles out, and she's like, "Thank heavens you guys found me. Those bird things came out. There was the one big one, and then there was the one different looking one, and then there was all the little ones, and then they all went that way. But then I I knew I couldn't fight them off. They were really scary. So I hid in here, and then when they came to get me, they bent the door, and I couldn't come back out. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a good thing we found you.
We're gonna see if our Red Ranger can assist you in repairing your shuttle so you can go home, or maybe
that sounds great.
Yeah, or maybe you can hitch a ride with our Red Ranger.
I've got a bunch of samples from this trip all on the shuttle, and this doesn't look like she's too bad. I'm pretty sure I can get her moving.
Okay, well we've got someone who can help you, so.
Barrel. Reed shows up. Red
Hey,
Ranger.
Come over here, buddy. And it's like it's that moment where his hero has acknowledged him, and he's all like, "Yeah." It's like, "Come over here and help."
Yeah, and he'll gladly give a hand and try and get this thing up and moving, and also he'll discuss with Sandra the finer points of space flight, and she'll be able to teach him a few things. She's been around quite a bit, space exploration wise.
Before they head away anywhere, Chris just wants to get in a little bit closer to Sandra and just sort of, I don't suppose they don't give you like hot sauce or anything. I appreciate you long trips.
We've got like a full mess kit, but I mean, I don't know if that's
no.
I mean, maybe
ketchup, ranch.
Chris is like totally put off.
Anything.
Like, why do I talk to you?
Really, just have a look.
When you guys come back through, I'll take a look.
Yeah.
All right. So you proceed.
The condiments have become a bit, and I love it.
It has been.
It's the B plot.
I assume we proceed to the temple itself. It is. We've got roughly a little over 2 hours left. Does anyone need to take a quick bio break, run and go take care of themselves, or do we?
Yeah.
Put. I mean,
go through
literally, we can take a couple of seconds. Go.
Go now.
Power
Rangers.
It
would take a few minutes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take like in 9 minutes it will be 10 o'clock my time. So let's take 9 minutes. Like
yeah.
9 minutes.
It's a specific amount of time, but it'll work.
Yeah.
That way, I mean, we can still sit here and chit chat, but the game itself, the episode will be paused.
This is our. We're gonna take an ad break.
Ooh, there you go.
Yes.
Do you have ads?
Only what I can come up with off the top of my head.
Okay.
You should go to Sirenscape.com and look into signing up for their subscription for all of your ambient tabletop RPG sound needs. They have official sound sets from Wizards of the Coast and Pathfinder and Cyberpunk.
You work for Sirenscape?
I do not.
We use Sirenscape all the time for our Wednesday night game. We try to give all of the tools that we use regularly. We always try and give a shout out to. We appreciate all the hard work that all kinds of different people do, whether it's Hero Forge for all of our minis, Sirenscape for the ambiance, Incarnate and Dungeon Alchemist we use for maps. 2 Minute Tabletop is an amazing resource. They do a lot of great work over there for maps and minis and all kinds of stuff. And of course, not to mention the reason why we're all here today, raising money for the kids.
For the kids, through Extra Life.
Our total stands right now at $2,585.
That's
so
awesome.
we are starting to creep up on our first stretch goal, which will be Cujo eating a lemon as if it were solid condensed lemonade apple.
I have a question on that.
I still don't know that is the best comparison.
When you eat an apple, do you slice the peel off?
No.
So with the
Hell,
lemon, then
Yeah,
are you just like
rind and all.
Yeah.
Just get in it.
Yep. That's
Oh,
the
that's
the plan.
unfortunate. I thought you
And
were
you
gonna
gotta eat
peel
the
it
whole
like an
thing.
orange.
Waste not.
you want to
I
see
thought
this?
I thought you were gonna peel it like an orange.
I mean
I mean, don't
okay.
make the guy eat the
Let
peel
me-
and the rind. That stuff is bitter and gross.
Yeah.
Let me
Rest
tell
of
the
the lemon
story of why the lemon is a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
When I first started streaming, I had a birthday stream for myself and I was real excited about it. And everyone was like, "Oh, we're going to tune in for your birthday. It's going to be great." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I made the really stupid and rookie mistake to be like, "Hey, every 5 gift subs, I'll do a shot of alcohol." And they were like, five gift subs is $25. You fool. I had to do 4 in an hour. So within an hour, I was like, guys, I think I gotta slow down. And my chat was like, do you have any snacks, anything that you can eat to kind of absorb some of the alcohol? I was like, I don't really have a whole lot of chips. I'm trying to eat healthier. Like, it just wasn't, I don't have a lot of stuff that I could just whip up. And they were like, well, do you have any, what do you eat? I was like, I mean, I cook food. I make like baked potatoes and whatever. And they're like, eat a potato live on stream. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
But
And-
did you eat a potato live on stream?
I never did, but they never let it go. It has been my bane for 2 years coming up in December.
So why didn't you just say you were going to eat a potato live on stream instead of a lemon?
Because apparently if you eat a raw potato, it's very bad for your stomach.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Raw potatoes are
No,
they're
let those people
Wait a
and their
minute,
weird live tales.
Hold
My
on, I
Irish
thought
ass ate so
I
many.
thought they meant a
raw-
baked potato.
No. All the time. Little
uncooked,
small-
raw.
Oh, that's weird. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
I grew up that way. Look at me. I came out okay.
You'll never guess it. I have crippling digestive issues. No, I after the last month, I've been sick about 4 or 5 times over the last month. Multiple bouts of strep, an ear infection. I had a real rough month. So talking with people, I was like, eating a lemon, I mean, that's nicer on the digestive system, right?
Well, and
I mean, it kind
why.
of sucks on the taste buds, but that's about it.
That's the whole point, I think.
You know why you've been sick. You haven't been eating your raw potatoes.
Wow, I wasn't
So-
aware it really affected that many things.
I mean,
I've rolled a
I'm not sick. I thought I got weird resin dust in my eye, and my eye turned a bright color over. If you watch my most recent show, my which eye is this? Left eye. I had to think about it. Was, I mean, like, you can look at it, I'm better now, but I honestly thought for a moment I woke up in the morning and my kid looked at me and goes, "Dad, I think you have pink eye," and I was like, "Oh, I don't want. Well, please don't have pink eye. Conjunctivitis is so gross." And
Yeah.
but I didn't have any other symptoms and whatever, and it's cleared up in like 2 days because I realized I've been doing so much stuff with my 3D printer and whatnot. I'm positive that I got resin dust in my eye.
Ooh, shit.
I mean, it's just like basically little tiny shards of glass. I mean, that's all it is.
I mean, that's whatever.
You get it?
Fine.
It's super tiny bits, like microscopic bits.
Did you get it
Is our
out?
stream
Oh yeah,
having issues again?
I bought, not a sponsor, a bunch of little eye droppy things, and then I've been great. But it's not pink eye because of the potatoes.
It's a bit of a leap, Brian.
Yeah.
See,
I
Like get
little
paid to like write for games because he can make make stuff
I
up
don't
like
have
that.
tuberculosis because of raw potatoes. It's just, I mean, it is the laundry list goes on. I mean, the facts are there.
Starfish, I see your comment. I think the most he's planning to do is one bite. Also, he has the ability to just spit it out. Let me clarify. I will do one gigantic
spitting
bite.
it out is for quitters. That's what we want to
That is,
clarify.
I am going to commit to the bit, and I will digest that crap. It's probably
think-
a
I
bad
think
plan, but
eating an
Chat's
entire
just a
lemon
little bit worried that it might not be
how-
good for your stomach.
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say,
true.
how is your like, not to be like, how's your digestive system? Like, do you have like ulcer issues or anything? How do you how if I were to give you per se a bunch of hot sauce, would you be able to handle? I literally didn't realize I was doing the condiment thing until just now.
It will never die.
Damn it, Brian!
I would be okay.
Hey.
I would be okay. Listen, my friends had they did their own Hot Ones run where they took the hot sauces from that show and they made the wings and all that.
Yep.
I got through 2. On the second one, I felt like I was dying. Like spicy just gets me a little bit. Don't judge me.
2 is not bad, man.
I'm just, you're making that face.
Well, so
Really
last year,
hardcore.
last year's GaryCon, we did the Hot Ones. There was 4 of us. We did the Hot Ones challenge on camera.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yep. And Matt Forbeck and I got through all 10.
Condiments quest.
It is awful. I mean, it's painful. Like 8 is the worst. I'll. You know what?
Are you talking about the bomb? The bomb is
Yes.
the worst.
Yes, it is. It is like literally. As someone who has been stung by jellyfish, it is like jellyfish stings inside your mouth. It is terrible.
That sounds like something you would want to avoid.
Well, yeah, no, I've never used it again in any capacity.
Ian was just in our last 2 games. His brother got the bomb and bought it and made wings, and Ian was like, "No,
so awful.
It's
so
terrible."
Awful. Like, well, and honestly, when we did our lineup, 9 and 10 were technically hotter, but they were better sauces. Like, yeah, it was hotter, but they actually tasted like something that wasn't just pain.
Yeah.
And so I pulled up the stream during the commercial break, and our Arcanon says, "Don't do the one chip challenge." I actually just recently did the one chip challenge on my show.
Oh my god,
I was just typing that.
I staticked out there for a second. What was that?
Oh, what is wrong with you? Was my question.
I was supposed to do an unboxing from WizKids, and their shipment came in late, so I had nothing better to do for my show that Friday, and I basically was like, I'll go down and buy one of those stupid chips.
Oh.
And I knew it was going to be rough. Like everyone I've talked to, they all said that it was terrifying. It was scary, but I was like, I've done the hottest hot sauce that they make. Like, I can do this. I made it like maybe 2 minutes before part of the reason I could have probably made it another minute, maybe, before I reached for the chocolate milk, but the stream would have been my show would have been so boring because it would have just basically. Well, the whole point, what I did is I took 10 questions about Essence 20, and I was going to answer the questions while suffering on this chip. That was the whole point. Like, that's what this was. And I answered exactly 1.5 questions before I was like, I can't actually speak. This is going to be the worst show in history because no one's going to be able to listen to what I'm saying. I'll be like, and so I just started.
Right. The important question now is, did you post that video?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, it's I've got the video for Matt's seen it. Yeah, no, that's episode like 152 or 153 is the one chip challenge, and then on Gary Khan's YouTube show or their YouTube channel is where we did the hot ones. And that actually is that was just a fun, like, it literally was a good time. It was a good interview. Rick Ankeny is an amazing interviewer. And it was me, Matt Forbeck, Nathaniel Sims from Kenzer and Company, and Ginny Loveday from Steam Forged. We were the 4 doing the questions or answering the questions, and it was so much fun because at the very beginning, you're feeling good. You're feeling, oh, this is nothing. Especially we had a number of people that said no to the challenge because they were like, no, that's not going to happen. That's actually how Nathan got onto the 4 panel. It was supposed to be a guy named Cosmo Joe who runs RPX, and Joe, I called him up and I was like, hey, I think you would be perfect for this N-Wing challenge. And he goes, no, that'll kill me. And I'm like, oh, don't be a wuss. And he's like, no, literally, my stomach lining has holes in it. It would kill me. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want you to die. I like you. So he goes, but one of my assistants that's at the show, he's in the industry, and he volunteered Nate to go do it. He was just like, he shows up, Nate's there, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, I don't know why I'm here. This is terrifying.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And he made it all the way up through 9. He quit at 9. Nine was his. He was gonna quit at 8, but then he saw that Matt and I did 9, and he was like, he said some profanity and then went in and did the 9.
That's amazing.
But it was a thing, man. And yeah, I'll grab. But after this this session, I will grab the links and put them in this session, T-Rex session. I don't know.
Just wanted to make sure I understood.
Yeah, my pantomime. Yeah, I'll grab the links and I'll put them in the chat.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
So you guys can marvel at my stupidity.
Excellent.
I love it. All for it.
I need to get something off my chest before we get back to the game.
Yes.
I love the Black Spectrum. It is amazing, but unlike PowerPoints, the quips and speeches don't come back, and once I don't have enough of them to help everyone. And it really grinds my gears.
One shot, you very rarely do they take more than one day. So yeah, I can see where you're like, I used up all my stuff. Yeah,
it grinds my gears because I just want to help everybody else. If I could give people up shifts, they wouldn't be failing so much. I feel like I could save their roles.
So basically, what you're saying is, as a Black Ranger,
I don't take the glory for myself.
You have to resort to helping people like a normal person when you're done doing your super coolness, is what you're saying.
You know,
yeah, help actions like the common folk.
I can't give myself up shifts, okay?
Like
if I'm gonna roll like garbage, I want to help everyone else around me. Because I roll like a peasant.
Jesus.
Roll like a peasant in the shadow of never mind. All right, so
I went there. Sorry.
The domed structure. It is laid out like a giant giant stone dome. And in the front, there is a weathered hole, like an entrance that looks similar to like a beak, perhaps. But time and age has weathered it down to it's kind of nubby beak parts. But you can see inside there's crystals that light the way. What should you do? What do you do, Rangers? I don't know why I'm being so dramatic. It's just a door.
I kind of like.
I don't know if you know this about tabletop RPGs. Doors are the enemies of parties.
Yeah.
No,
I kind of just motion to the group and say, "Would anyone like to lead the way?"
I can. I am quite hardy, and I feel that whatever is behind this door, we can handle together.
Go Strato!
Matt will like make room for nines, but then we'll also like stand next to him and be like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Together. And then she puts her hand on is there a knob or something like to open the door?
There's not a real door. It's just an opening. It's just an an ominous opening leading into darkness with little sparkly crystals in the darkness.
Do I have it? Can I spend a story point to have a light source? Like some kind. Oh wait, hold on. Before I spend that story point, do our helmets have like light things,
like little headlamps?
Headlights?
Sadly, no. Although that would be kind of funny. I imagine the RPM helmets do because they look like they have helmets on. Or they look like
there's one of the series that have headlights on their helmets, but
RPM.
not us.
And actually, in the first movie, the Yellow Ranger was the one to activate the lights on her helmet, but nobody else had any.
Which means that I should have lights on my helmet.
In the movie, that is a license that we can't mess with. So, yeah, let's just.
I would like to spend a story point to have that feature on my helmet.
You know what? Done. You guys all have lights.
Nice.
It's not even. I'm not even gonna say that it's just Mavs. You have spent a story point to say that the Strato Rangers have all got cool whatever your animal head is, or your bird that you represent. The eyes light up.
If there's a beaked part of my helmet that's like pointed, it now shines a light. It's like
Awesome.
a bird beak.
So
Hey guys,
that expenditure of a story point means you do not have to worry about any kind of darkness throughout the rest of the temple, unless I specifically say like weird something like your lights.
Hey guys, don't forget about that new feature in your helmet. Turn on the lights.
Picturing all of us having to vocalize some like the Green Ranger light battery power go, and then Jones is like doom.
Yeah, I just hit a button. But as we all start like walking into this temple, and we all start just like maybe not like marching, but like just kind of walking somewhat in step. You guys hear kind of from the back of the pack, "We're off to see the wizard."
Is there a wizard here?
Uh-oh.
Just an expression.
I hope not.
Because light Mav backflips forward. You know, like they do in the movie where the Pink Ranger and the Blue Ranger starts backflipping together. She just starts backflipping.
I can't let a Strato team member backflip alone.
Flip.
I will also, or Istio will.
There are black feathers. There are black feathers littering the floor here and there. So Tengas have definitely been through here.
The feathers up and then find a spot in my helmet to stick it in. Like, just I don't know.
How many story points do we have right now?
You currently are sitting at 4.
5. Oh, I thought. Okay, yeah. Sorry, counting's hard.
Let's go to the mall.
Numbers, man.
Like, can you believe?
I have an idea. I want to pose it to the team.
Okay.
Given that I have mechanoid traits, I was wondering if, as a mechanoid, if I would have thermal vision available to me. Would it cost a story point? Probably. Just wanted to know if that was an option.
I feel like it should be a
story point, because normally there's one of the Blue Ranger abilities that they can do is they can actually augment the team's helmets to have like special vision.
Got it.
So you could access it, but it would cost a story point.
Instead,
I leave that to the team.
We have the ability to talk to everything, right? Mine is
the
translators.
What's your other one?
Receivers.
What does that do again? I forget.
Let's go look on the Blue Ranger.
I only
and understand everything.
All right.
Oh, it's all okay. I never pick those as a Blue Ranger. I pick the ones that
you don't go. Have you played many games where you go into space?
No, I don't like it in space. Actually,
we're
don't
like space.
Matthew is the game master for one of Anne's games.
No, actually, the one game that I am not playing a Blue Ranger in, we're in a floating city in space, so I'm not a Blue Ranger there. So that's funny.
You shouldn't necessarily need thermographic vision going in through here, because between the headlamps and the little kind of like glowy crystals, you get a pretty good, a pretty good layout. Unless something was specifically designed to be like a pitfall or something like to be hidden, you have a pretty good idea of the layout. It does not take long. You go into the tunnel, and it kind of starts to veer. Like you can feel that it veers and then kind of starts to curl back around. It's almost as if maybe it's kind of a spiral. This hallway sort of spirals around. But the tunnel itself, just to let you know, because you were talking about walking side by side, that won't be an issue. It is 30 feet wide and 50-foot high ceilings. It goes very high up, and all along the walls, there's all kinds of little handholds and perches. It almost looks like this has been designed for things that can fly. Yes, Matthew.
Chris is very pointedly going to put a hand on like a ranger on either side of him, so to sort of steady his balance, and then just look straight upwards as they're walking. So the light is shining up, but he doesn't want to fall over because he's not looking where he's going, and yeah, he doesn't like it so much.
It does eventually have a ceiling, but like if you're specifically kind of looking for like potential ambushers, so to speak.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right. Well, you go about 150. We'll say you walk for about 100 feet, and you get to a gate, an archway in the tunnel. So like there's a wall and there's an archway in the tunnel itself, and on the archway, your grid speak receivers, your helmet, like your helmet HUD goes and translates ancient Eltarian, and the room above the door says judgment.
Ooh.
What
That
would you like
seems
to do?
unsettling.
Like to make a culture check. I know it's Eltarian out there, correct?
The translator would probably, if you like kind of tapped on the window with your eyeball or whatever, it would, yeah,
Flip a switch. Would it tell me, or do I just see it as English and do not see the original
Because
language?
the translator, it knows what it's translating. So yeah, I would think that it tells you here's the translation, and maybe like down in the bottom corner there's like a footnote that's like ancient Eltarian.
Uh,
Yeah, I just kind of pose
I-
the question. Does anybody I point to it? Does anybody have an idea of what that means? Seems kind of ominous.
I don't know how. I have a D2 in culture, but I would like to know if it's reasonable for me to have some kind of passing knowledge about Eltar or Eltarian.
You guys spend a lot of time in the space station with not a lot of there's a lot of reading
before you roll.
Okay.
So you guys want to discuss ancient Eltarian?
Okay, let's go. Oh, sick. Okay, my luck is turning now. That is a 21.
So Eltarians were kind of, I don't want to call them jerks because they're not. They were defenders of the grid. They were Ben's giving me that look. They were the defenders of the grid. They were the ones that first kind of had to stand against the might of the dark dimension when it seeped in. It's a thing, but their idea, and something that would be labeled as judgment, they were very big on personal vindication. Like, frankly, Christian hell would be a real big thumbs up for the ideas of Eltarian judgment. So whatever it is meaning, it will be personal, and it's not going to be a sweeping generalization. It's going to be something personal to you.
Ooh, a super specific judgment.
I know that's not very helpful. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about Eltarian culture, but yeah, sorry, my brain just spaced out.
No worries. It's getting late for some of us, later for others.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at that part of the clock or the screen. Doesn't exist.
We're just gonna move forward, I guess. Are there different paths,
In-
like,
in
or is
my-
it just this hallway with
It is a flat
judgment?
stone wall and a door that says judgment.
Just one door?
Just one door.
Is
there a handle or anything, or is it just a door?
Is it a push or a
Doorknob?
pull door?
It looks almost kind of. Well, I was going to say, fellow Far Side fan. It honestly looks more like
A sliding door?
like swing, almost like swinging like saloon doors, except it fills the whole thing.
What material is this door made? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just adding to the questions about this door.
Stone.
Guys, it's a door.
All right.
I volunteer to
pushing
step
past
through
the
first.
door. You enter.
If needed, I would volunteer to step
What's
through
up?
first, just to be on the safe side.
Somebody's got to go first.
Yeah.
Hey, if Knights goes first and something's
pushing
there to
into
attack,
the
he
judgment
gets a solo
chamber.
strike.
There is roughly 10 to 15 feet of open landing. Basically just kind of like open stone right outside the other side of the door. And the rest of the room, which is how long are you? You are it is 80 feet long. Same really high ceilings. But it's actually gorgeous. It is filled. There is a walkway in the middle, and there's just filled with these like milky white crystals, like almost like the inside of a geode, all along the floor and kind of crawling up the side of. There are several big pedestals that rise up out of the floor that are about 10 feet off the ground and about 10, 15 feet between each one. And then on the opposite side of the room, you can see another door.
It cannot be this easy, can it?
I feel that Eltarians were far smarter than to let this be a simple hallway, if this is indeed a prison.
Well, it was some kind of storage facility. Hopefully it was just storage and not a prison. But
They did
I'm
abandon
not
it a long
prepared
time
to
ago.
make a wager on.
We know the Tenga's king here, and there's someone that's still here, according to that one Tenga.
True.
Someone that's arguably stronger than the ones we defeated.
He used the name Pexter.
Pexter, yeah, that guy.
Wait, Brian.
Wait, the Tenga has a name that means it's important.
Real quick, when we were first approaching the moon, I had done that like sensor sweep, and we had determined that there were like a half dozen or so life signs. There were 4 Tangas that we fought. We took one of them prisoner. There was the woman that we found trapped in the shuttle. And we know that there's one more woman that was supposed to be on the shuttle as well that was missing.
Sandra's by herself.
Okay.
No, but we have Pexter is still in the temple, is what we know.
So presumably that's the only other creature that we were able to detect.
Unless the Tenga that we had fought earlier managed to get inside this facility and rejoin Pexter. Pexter. Apologies. Upon entering a new name into my database, it can sometimes sound funky.
Yeah, but Ishio, she said she trapped the Tenga, so in the card.
Oh yeah, that Tenga's digitized. It's not getting out.
Yeah, so there theoretically is only one life
Yeah, I'm just
form
trying to
left.
put the math together. Like, we're not expecting to come across another like 50 guys inside this temple. I'm presuming at least that there's one more guy that's unaccounted for.
Barring any weirdness, yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
What's weirdness in this game?
Never.
I would suggest.
What are we doing?
Why would Pexter send his send their minions out? I'm wondering about that. They left themselves like alone and vulnerable to like a group of us just coming in.
They might have been expecting us, and the 4 we fought were supposed to be scouts.
Mm.
I would suggest that we move through this hallway so that we may get to the center and prevent this nest egg from falling into their hands.
Chris
I
is gonna
will.
slowly start walking towards the walkway as Nine says this, and
Okay.
start placing his foot across it, like
I need
tentatively.
to
I
summon
need
my
to
blaster.
ask you an honest question. What is
Uh-oh.
Chris thinking about right now?
Chris is thinking right this second that if something is going to happen on the walkway, best it happens to him than anybody else.
All right. Would you consider that a positive or negative thought?
6 of one, half dozen of the other. He sees his place in a team as the shield, and that's what he's good for.
But getting hurt isn't something that you're too keen on.
Not really.
All right. So as you walk closer to the edge where the crystals start to grow, the milky white crystals start to glow and start growing very rapidly towards you, like sharpened spears coming up out of the growth towards you. I need you to either make an athletic skill test to jump onto one of the nearest pedestals, or a brawn test and just try and tough it out.
I'm gonna make a brawn test to try and tough it out. Non-combat.
This would be a non-combat. Yeah, this is not a
I
combat.
get that edge too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
You're designed for being. You're like, these crystals don't mean anything. Ow, ow, ow.
I don't suppose there's anything that could really get assistance with, right? Given that,
Not really. However, everyone else can make either an alertness or science roll when they witness what's happening.
Science?
Never knew her. Actually, it's not a medicine related thing, is it?
Ew.
I have a 17.
All right.
The edge
So
really saving me. I got a 5 and a 15.
So you will take a point of sharp damage as the crystals pick up on your negative emotions and basically start growing towards your thoughts and jab into your person. Now, being a Gold Ranger, however, your Morphin Shell immediately adapts, and for the remainder of the scene, you would have resistance to sharp damage. As that these are not attacks, you take half damage. So you will actually be able to withstand quite a bit more of this ouch if you have to. What would you like as and for those of you seeing from you've seen the Gold Ranger do this before, is that there's a little golden shimmer that goes down his shell, and for the remainder of the scene he'd have resistance to that type of damage.
I got a 13 on science. I was looking at it, just a regular science check. What is happening here?
It's the crystals are growing towards him, and it's super weird.
Yeah, it really is.
I chose science because I'm assuming that we all pretty easily notice that It's the crystals growing rapidly. I imagine that would be hard to notice. So I got a 14 on the science check.
Yeah, it is hard to know exactly why, but yeah, it's not hard to see them that they are growing rapidly toward him. Anyone else?
I'd like to point out that I also had a 13 science, which we've
Yeah.
already gone over. So I should have
Okay.
helped someone else, is what it come down to.
Chris, you now have your choice of walking forward and just weathering the storm, or jumping onto the athletic skill tests, or give me an alertness test. This is to figure out whether or not, see if you can kind of recognize the fact that when it started hurting, they started growing faster because you were hurting, and that's negative.
We're gonna try for that alertness check with that snag.
Choice.
What'd you get?
Does a 3 tell me anything?
A 3 tells you that pain hurts.
It does. This is correct.
It does indeed.
Pain is no good, and
Can
sometimes
confirm.
they die of death. Yeah, no, it's a bad thing.
At this point, I mean, I know Chris has obviously been in situations like this before. Does Chris let out any sort of sound or note on what his plan is to just sit and bear it, or does he need help falling back?
He doesn't move back or anything. He just stands there at the moment. He's just like, you hear just a, ouch. They're sharp. Don't know why they're coming towards me. They don't seem to be moving if I'm not moving. So there's that.
Oh no. They're still growing.
They're still moving? Oh.
Mav hears the ow. Wait, how far into it did Chris get?
About another 5, 10, 15, maybe 15 feet before the crystal started to get to him. 9s, it looked like they were already doing something.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
These crystals are growing. They are growing rapidly. Do the crystals seem to be tracking him? I can make an alertness check.
You don't have to. It's creepy looking. It's like when you see something with those magnets on like iron filaments. All of the crystals seem to be heading towards him and his brain pan.
Okay. I want to try and follow him. I'm not entirely sure how I can explain this, but I would like to roll finesse as I move, kind of like zigging and zagging or bobbing and weaving, trying to
dodge them.
Yeah, kind of dodge them, keep my movements fluid, and try and stay away from them.
All right, before you make that test, tell me what's going through your mind right now.
That it is seeing my compatriot just try and walk through there isn't really working. That's not a viable solution to this problem. I think that there is a problem, and I think I have a solution to it.
All right. Go ahead and make your finesse roll as some of the crystals start to home in on you and try to jab you with the stabby bits.
I'm gonna go next. I would like to do something.
No.
Oh
So
no!
You will take a point of sharp damage as it starts to the crystals pick up on your negative emotions and spear into your morphin shell.
I as soon as I see this not working, I immediately just dash back to the beginning out of their area, out of their range.
Right.
That really sucked. I have 1 health.
Oof.
I know it's not an attack, but can Chris use his Golden Guardian to sort of interject?
Not so much because you're kind of surrounded by your own ouchies.
Okay.
So,
No.
sorry, I think Anne was next.
Yeah, what's up, Ann?
Go in and get to Chris. And I want to like brute force my way. I summon my power staff. I want to brute force my way through the crystals and essentially try to reach Chris.
All right. What is going through your mind when you enter the crystal field?
The Strato Rangers are a team. That no one should go anywhere alone. And that includes Chris. And Chris is out there alone, and they shouldn't be.
Okay. All right. So everyone else notices when Mav walks forward to try and, like staff up, ready to start smacking crystals, they actually kind of fold away from her. As she walks forward and walks right up to Chris, Mav is standing right behind you. You never had to whack a single crystal.
Are the crystals still trying to stab Chris, though?
Seemingly.
I tried to whack those crystals.
You can whack at them and they break and they fragment, but then the fragments grow into more crystals.
Chris, are you okay? Chris, come on.
All right, we got Istio and Nine still have they figured out what they're doing yet?
I believe that my earlier assumption may hold some merit.
Yeah.
I believe that this is a prison, but I believe that there is a security checkpoint in this very hallway.
And you hear from a distance, come on, Chris. Snap out of it, man. You don't need to do this alone. And she's still smashing crystals.
I'm going to also walk in to assist with freeing Chris.
All right, what's going on in Nines' head?
Nines, in this moment, is going to replay all of the memories that have been implanted in him of moments when someone in the team is struggling and everybody rallies around them and shows love and does all of that stuff. So he is essentially using that logic. That was a terrible delivery of that, but you get what I'm saying.
That was
and use that perfect logic to apply it to this situation.
Similar to what happened with Mav, the crystals almost seem like they're repelled by your overt positivity.
Ooh.
Remember what Zordon had taught the other Rangers. Lead with love and positivity. And he'll just continue to approach Chris to assist and just repeat. Lead with love and positivity.
Now that we know
to
how
be
this
alone.
It's still a long walk from one side of this hallway to the other. To get to the other side, you can just jump on pedestal to pedestal, just boink, 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 requiring you to make tests to not fall into jagged crystal bed. But now that you know that it does, with these literally almost like Peter Pan happy thoughts, you can kind of keep the crystals at bay by thinking positivity and not horrible negative thoughts. But it is difficult to think happy thoughts when there are sharp things kind of waiting at you, or recently having stabbed someone, requiring anyone to cross this path. You have to make a difficulty 12 unaided performance. You could aid. I think you can find a way to aid if you can convince me that you could aid somebody in their performance check. I would let it happen.
I have a proposal.
Ooh.
Close your eyes
I have D4 in performance. That's what I have, but I'm also closing my eyes. Okay.
If you close your eyes and only focus on that which guides us as rangers, then these crystals will not stab us.
It takes a difficulty 12 performance test to broadcast happy thoughts purposely in a room full of death. And I am on board with, if you close your eyes, you can go ahead and take
Can't
edge.
see the dead.
Yeah, I'll let you take edge on the roll if you close your eyes. However, if with edge, if you close your eyes and fumble, you will take double damage because you're just strolling into death. So that's your gamble. It's up to you.
All right.
Do you? Okay, I have a D4 plus my leadership persuasion test. Can I use that?
Performance.
No, but can I use that to try to get to Chris? Because he doesn't seem to be responsible. Yeah, no, but can I like try to snap Chris out of whatever's happening with him?
Chris is just basically frozen in place. He's not trapped. He's just not
but
moving.
Like he's obviously not responding. He's just like
he can.
Because I'm trying to communicate. Like you got to focus on something.
Yeah, Matthew, you can absolutely you can respond however you like. There's no test needed.
Okay. Yeah, no, because what Mav is trying to do specifically is not necessarily trying to advance any further, but just trying to make sure that Chris knows that they're not alone. It's like, let's do this together. And she's smashing crystals partially to free him, but partially to get his attention. Like, come on, we're a team. We have to do this together.
You know what? I'll actually if Chris is feeling froggy, I will let Chris make that performance test. Since you're doing just kind of wacky smashies, yeah. I will let you take that performance test with if you do the eyes closed bit with edge and an upshift because you've got Mav helping you, but you're rolling for both of you.
I would like to assist as well.
Here, HDO, let's go.
So this is turning into a daisy chain?
Yes, because I will bring out
conga line.
I will bring out the true SPD item that always raises spirits, which is walk to the rhythm, baby.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because at this point, Jones and Istio are the only two who are not like in the crystals yet, right?
This is true.
Correct.
I will, as you begin to do that, I just kind of like put a hand on your shoulder and say, I guess we're doing this together, shall we?
This utter amazing team project, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and make one roll for the whole team with edge and one upshift. If you fail this, everybody fails this.
All right, who's got the best?
Wait, who's got
a 0?
I have a D4 in performance, but I also did the leader thing and Black Spectrum.
Someone else can roll for you guys.
Yeah, who's got performance ranks except for me?
I got a
I have
D2.
nothing.
I can
got a D2.
Your D2 becomes a D4 with edge.
Yeah.
And this was your idea to do the eyes closed playback thing. Cujo, you got this, man.
Yeah.
Nines, you're soon going to be 10s.
Can I provide an additional upshift with my quips and speeches?
Nope, you were wacky smashy.
Sorry, man. I tried.
Before we
Look,
start,
I just want to set Cujo up for the most success.
Got a thing. What's going on?
Yes, before we start, I will helping hand my friend who said they only had 1 health left. So now you have 2 in the event this goes horribly wrong.
Oh, thank God.
Don't worry, we got this.
What's our difficulty for this?
It's only 12. It's low, man. It's
Only
just
12.
low.
Sure you got all the upshifts. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Wait. Is that a 6?
Oh no.
Now, did you already roll? Did you roll both d20s?
Oh no.
Did you
the
get a
D4?
1 on any of those, though?
Nope.
Oh.
How is that possible? Like 3 2s?
I got a 3 on the D20 because it's the higher one, and I got a 3 on the D4.
So the other d20 is a 2. You literally had no one. That's savage. So everyone takes a point of damage, and then you get to roll again. The theory was super sound, man.
Yeah.
Do we want me to roll
Dice
again?
I mean,
You
you're.
want me rolling?
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe in you.
Wait.
Is it
You have.
Are-
What's your performance? A D2?
D2.
mine's a
Okay.
mine's a D4. Could I try rolling it this time?
By
If-
all means.
I'm just
If
gonna be
you
like,
do-
I'm just gonna be like, okay, I think Chris is fine.
if you
I'm
do,
gonna do what 9 suggested.
you no longer get the wacky smashy bonus. So
Yeah,
you
okay,
are
Oh.
that's fine.
you're at edge, but you don't get the
I'm
upshift.
at edge. Okay, I'm not gonna
What?
give myself an upshift.
My cowbell prop doesn't give a +1? I mean, come on.
Okay,
Prop comedy,
yeah,
baby.
It's fine.
Somewhere Carrot Top is
It's
very
okay.
happy with you.
Okay, I got this.
You got this,
You
Matt.
got this.
You got this.
Wait,
You're
I
not going
lost
to
my
kill me. I
D4.
know it.
I should
No, it's
probably
fine.
heal you
I got-
again before. Oh well.
No, it's okay.
Miserable.
I rolled a 20.
Okay. Yeah, you're, so after all the jabbing and the death and the sting, the psychoreactive crystals no longer stab you, and you get to the other end of the chamber. There is a landing where you are safe from crystals, and there is another door.
Before we move
Okay.
on, I'll just
Two
turn to Mav and just and the voice of Jason, Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, says, "Isn't the smallest chance of victory enough of a reason to keep fighting?"
Ooh, nice.
And then Mav responds to that. She says, always.
Aw.
And then she looks at her power staff and then like poofs it away back into the morphin grid because she's like, I don't like being that guy. I don't like being that guy. And then she just
The grid speak translator shows you the label over the following door.
Uh-oh.
Is bravery.
Oh, bravery. Okay.
Oh, we got this. We've been so brave, like so brave.
I open the door.
Going into the bravery chamber.
I go in first this time.
All right. There's
Look.
another little landing,
Bravery in action.
almost as if it's perfectly for you guys to stand on. Let's see if I can open your minds to this description. The second chamber in the testing tunnel is the bravery chamber. A full 100-foot-long chamber comprised of a single walkway that twists and turns through a series of motion-detecting blades, spikes, energy-discharging prods, and so forth. The obstacles are swinging, blasting, stabbing immediately as the door opens. The room is a kaleidoscope of dangerous objects. What do you do?
Nope
To
the
roll,
fuck out of that.
I would like to roll a survival check to find the most or the least dangerous path.
All right, go for it. There's really only one walkway, but you can use this to figure out, maybe
Figure out like timing.
yeah.
Hmm.
You could also use
Cool.
in theory, you could use science. You could use like mathematics to try and time it out.
Ooh.
I really don't have any. They're all D2s to me. So I rolled a 13.
It's a terrible, scary room. I mean, if anyone's ever seen Galaxy Quest, the room with the chompers and the burners that make no
Yeah.
sense, this is
Yeah.
that type 5.
You mean the scene that was when the producers decided to make it a kids movie, and that's when they dubbed over Sigourney Weaver going, "Well, fuck that."
Yep. And it's not even like bad. Like
They don't
well,
even-
just
Yeah, they didn't even
absolutely right
pretend.
there.
why do we even have this room? Because it was on the show.
But I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. This episode was badly written.
All right,
So Mav goes in. So Mav goes in and tries to time her walk very confidently. Just go.
So, what I need you to do? Did you make did your survival check?
Yeah, it was 13.
13. It is the timing in this place seems crazy and erratic and difficult. Like it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason. When you start to move forward, I need you to make an alertness test.
Oh no.
Brian, can I also make an alertness test as this happens?
Absolutely.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. You are pushing forward, and I need you to make roll a d6.
Oh no. I rolled a 3.
What was that?
I rolled a 3.
A 3? There is two. As you're walking forward, you're like, I got to move forward. I got to make forward progress. And you pause for just a second, like you kind of misjudge a step, like no, wait, no. And two little prongs come up out of the side of the walkway, and an electric bolt goes, and you take 1 electric damage.
Oh no!
Oof. Oh no, I have to attack you. I'm sorry. I have to roll that. It automatically goes against your evasion because it's a lightning bolt.
Okay.
And it's an 8, so it's gonna miss you.
Okay.
What was the alertness down there from Jonesy?
10.
It does. And 9's showing me something too.
I didn't know if the audio didn't come through. Yeah, John's got
it was a 10.
Okay. On a 10, especially, you know what? Go ahead and roll edge because you got to see Mav stop and something happen. So roll another d20 and see what's up.
That becomes an 18.
Okay. If we were playing in person, I would pass you a note or take you away from the table to whisper in your ear. However, we're short on time, and I can't drive to your house and do this. So, you with your alertness test, you figure out that basically the mechanisms look like they're completely random. They look like they're just an utter mess of chaos, but they're actually timed to be precisely after you take a step. Meaning, if you don't pause, if you just move forward at your rate, you can walk right through it.
Be brave, and you'll be fine. That's the clue. Okay, that is exactly what I was like. The gears were starting to turn in my head, and that's what I was watching for. I was kind of watching for the timing, if the timing would change, and if Mav was going to pause or hesitate or something like that.
You're pretty sure that going backwards would basically be a meat grinder of death and destruction. Like no backwards.
Yeah,
so this is a forwards run.
I think Mav, like, almost getting zapped, she kind of freezes at that point, but she doesn't go backwards.
If I see you like even begin to stop, I shout and just start. Oh hell! It looks like the stream disconnected again. Cujo, are you able to try and take over?
Yeah, I can do that.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, we left about a cliffhanger.
Oh no! I'm gonna be.
Yeah, it's not doing it at all.
Okay. I will take it from here.
Yeah, so I'm going to stop the stream on my end.